broadcast of Mount Union football. This is Mount Union football. Now let's take you live to the stadium and our AM 1310 WDPN broadcast team.
And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Carroll Stadium here on the campus of the University of Mount Union. It is round two. I almost said OAC. Well, it is an OAC rematch, so to speak, but this is the NCAA Division III college football playoffs on a brutally cold Saturday afternoon here in Alliance, Ohio, as the Mount Union Purple Raiders take on a good friend, old friend, John Carroll. Hi, everybody. Sam Berkman along with my partner, John Bazika. We come to you inside the Mount Union radio booth here at Alliance, Ohio. The Raiders and Blue Streaks getting ready to go. And, John, we thought several weeks ago, actually way back in September, that we wouldn't see these two teams again for quite a while. Well, as fate has it, we get two rounds of Mount Union John Carroll. This one is win or go home. First round, 37-31 Raiders win it. They hold on at the end. But boy, things feel a little different today. A lot of factors. Mount's health. John Carroll is very hot. Who's going to get the go at quarterback today for the Raiders? And, oh, by the way, there's about a 30-mile-an-hour gusting wind today. Snow on the field. Let's play some football.
Yeah, wind gusting from left to right as we're looking out onto the field right now. And as you said, they've cleared the snow off the field, but I think as you posted on social media, it's still a tundra here at Carroll Stadium. 24 degrees right now.
That wind chill's got to be brutal.
Yeah, game time temp. If you're out there, feels much colder than that. Now, you mentioned some of the key things coming into the game, and it's no surprise. We saw him way back at the start of the year. Nick Septenfelter, the quarterback, a transfer in to the John Carroll program, the OAC's leading passer at the end of the season. And quite honestly, Sam, probably one of the best passers in the nation. 37 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He pretty much names where he wants to throw the ball and makes the throw. He has the capability to do that. I kind of asked Coach Dart about him a couple weeks ago after the Muskingum game, and probably a lot of it was coach speak, Sam, but he kind of was mum on the whole thing of facing Septenfelter and what he's capable of doing. And he said he was impressive, but didn't make him sound like the world beater that he looks like sometimes on the field. I think Mount is confident maybe that they can get some pressure on him. That was the issue last time. They really got no pressure on him, and he kind of carved up their defense all afternoon. The Mount Union side, you mentioned health. Will Noah Boudry go today? Will TJ DeShields go today? I see TJ on the sideline right now dapping up his offensive lineman. That would probably be an indication that we're going to see TJ DeShields today. And that does present an interesting thing, because last time when these two teams met, way back in week 2 of the season, week 3 by D3 standards, week 2 for both of them, if you remember, Sam, one of the main reasons why Mount was able to win that game was Noah's ability to escape and Noah's ability to run. It'll be interesting now. TJ's had 2 weeks to prepare as the number 1 guy for this game. What does Mount do from a game plan standpoint to make him comfortable against a team that is much different than anything he's faced?
Well, I think that's a huge point you make, John, the fact that he has had 2 weeks now to get ready for this game, not just being thrown out there like he was against Marietta. I think this is going to, well, I think it should help him out a great deal. As mentioned, the wind today is whipping left to right toward the big scoreboard here at the stadium. And you better believe John and I have got the windows open, so don't think we're going to sis out today. We got the windows open. We're ready to go. The guy I feel the worst for today is the gentleman standing up on top of the scoreboard.
Oh.
And he is right into the teeth of that 20, 30 mile an hour wind. And he's just up there for the entire day. I hope he's got something up there to keep him warm, because that's going to be a long 3 hours at that elevation with the wind blowing right in your face.
You know, famously it was Frank Gifford who, at the Ice Bowl in 1967 between the Packers and the Cowboys, he said he was in the press box at Lambeau Field, and he had a cup of steaming hot coffee, Sam, and he set it down on what was then probably a wood press box inside the press box itself, and it was steaming hot. He said he went back 2 minutes later, and he said it was frozen solid. Completely, all the way through. If there was any indication of what it would be like for that gentleman up there, that's how he would feel right now.
It is. That's a tough call of duty today for whoever is up there doing the filming for Mount Union. All right, Purple Raiders, all black today. Black jerseys, black pants, white numbers and letters, a little bit of purple trim. Script Raiders on the helmet. John Carroll, the old Notre Dame look today again. Their traditional white jerseys, gold pants, gold helmets, dark navy numbers and letters, a little gold trim. No stripes on the pants and no logo on the gold helmet.
By the way, no reason to leave the game, by the way, to go check on that game happening in Columbus. We will give you updates of the Ohio State-Michigan the whole time. So if you are here and you are listening, we will tell you what's happening between the Buckeyes and the Wolverines. Don't fret. Don't leave. Keep with us.
You should see the 85-inch monitor we have in here watching the Ohio State-Michigan game right now. Oh, baby.
Can't do somewhere that you don't see?
I can't do it enough justice.
What'd you smoke on the way over?
Here we go. 15 minutes on the clock. John Carroll kicking off left to right, and the playoffs are underway here in Alliance, Ohio. There's the kick, and the wind grabs it, and it's going to be Cooper on a return to the 10. And what happened?
I was going to say it was called for a fair catch.
He called fair catch? He did. Okay, now the official was waving, saying he called a fair catch. So the Purple Raiders will take over 1st and 10, and we will get a look at T.J. DeShields today, obviously starting his first ever postseason game. And here comes the big fella, the grad out of West Branch, wearing that familiar number 12. Noah Boudry is dressed today. We don't know if he will play or not, whether it's spot duty, maybe special plays. But we'll keep our eyes on Boudry as the day goes forward. Into the teeth of the wind, Purple Raiders 1st and 10 of their own 25-yard line, and TJ is going to go back to throw. He fires it. It's caught at the 35-yard line by Sanders, and that's a Mount Union first down. And you can hear the roar of the crowd. There it is, first down Mount Union.
Confidence there on that first throw.
Yes.
You know, nice job hanging in the pocket, finding Sanders on a curl down the middle of the field. I think that's going to be key for him, Sam. How many of those throws can he make early on to give himself that confidence, especially in this wind?
Oh, I love the way he fired that ball right through the teeth of that wind. Quick pitch out, right side, Echeverry, 35. Tyler Echeverry pounds his legs out to the 38.5-yard line, where he is brought down by John Carroll. Huffnagel on the stop for John Carroll.
Stat page is working great right now.
Probably a little frozen, maybe.
Be interesting to see if Echeverry is able to have the same afternoon here that he did earlier in the season. His legs were a big reason why Mount beat John Carroll earlier in the season.
Tyler, the senior running back, 5'10", 200 pounds. Cooper motion left. Play action. TJ back to throw. Ball gets hung up. That's got to be interference down here, no? No. No penalty. Sure looked like Beisendorf got his legs tangled up down here with the Purple Raider receiver. That ball, you can tell, that one, because it had to be a longer throw from right hash to left sideline, really got hung up in the wind. Incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, I think that's a tough play there because both guys were jockeying for position, and it was kind of a bad throw.
Movement on the offensive line. Only thing is now that John Carroll forced that movement.
There was a John Carroll defender that jumped into the neutral zone, but I don't know that he jumped enough into the neutral zone.
Here's the call by our referee.
Yeah, it's going to be on John Carroll.
Offsides, John Carroll. That's the right call. Blue Streak faithful not happy with it, but that was the correct call. Now, it's still not a first down, but that'll change that 3rd and 6 to a 3rd and 1. Raiders at their own 44-yard line, just underway here in Alliance. Sam Berkman, John Bazika with you today. Winner moves on to the next round. The loser hangs up the helmets for this year. Twins right, slot left is Turner. You can hear the wind bustling in the background. 13:49 opening quarter of play. No score between Mount Union and John Carroll. Still bits of remnants of snow on the playing surface. A lot of the snow shoveled off earlier today to the back end zones and over by the wall on the side. Echeverry 45, 50, 45. Tyler Echeverry to the 41-yard line of John Carroll and a Mount Union first down.
You know, I don't know why you're not loading the box there. I mean, I know you have to respect TJ being able to throw the ball down the field, but they pretty much had their, 4-down linemen and their linebackers kind of up in there, but they were thinking they were going to throw on 3rd and 1. When you have Tyler in the backfield and you know how explosive he is, interesting now Darnell into the game.
Darnell Williams back there behind his quarterback. Now they will shift Echeverry behind the QB. Darnell to the right. Turner left. Wide right Sanders. Inside handoff. There comes Darnell, 40, 39 to the 38-yard line. He'll take that every time. That's a gain of 4, almost 5 yards on the play.
So what's interesting here is Mount going into the teeth of the wind. So far we've seen them throw 2 passes, one successful to Sanders, one very unsuccessful to Turner. We'll see if this continues to be a theme of them running the ball. John Carroll going to have the win when they get the ball.
This Purple Raider team averaging 45.4 points a game. John Carroll giving up 17.3. DeShields back to throw. Quick out, caught. Nicky Turner's got it. And that looks like a pretty good spot, and it looks like a Mount Union first down. To the John Carroll 31-yard line. Nick Turner, the junior wide receiver, hauls it in for the Purple Raiders. First down. Nice drive out of the chute for the Purple Raiders here today.
Nothing crazy, simple stuff.
Yes. And I mean, you're taking the ball in the opening kickoff. You're going into this driving wind. It's been pretty impressive so far. Sanders in motion to the left. He'll set. There's a wide handoff to Darnell Williams, and he's going to be taken down back at around the 31-yard line. Stopped by John Carroll. That's Ben Day out of Brecksville, 6'2", 225 pounds.
Some nice size up there up front. 275, the tackle Wazinski. 250, the nose in Wilson. And Sparks, the rush man, at 215. And then Day is 225. So they've got nice size up front.
They certainly do. 4 wides in the pattern now. Cooper in motion behind the quarterback and running back. TJ will hand it off to Echeverry. Big hole, 30, 25 to the 24 of John Carroll. That'll leave the Purple Raiders with a 3rd down and around 3 as we crack the 11-10 mark in the opening quarter of play. No score. Purple Raiders and Blue Streaks here on 1310 WDPN. 23 degrees our game time temperature, and with the wind, the wind chill's got to be around 10. It is a blustery day here in Alliance. Raiders 3rd and 3 now. They'll scrimmage at the John Carroll 24-yard line.
2 tight ends, both Anderson and Sims right. They're unbalanced that way. See if they run that way, Sam.
Echeverry to the left of his quarterback, TJ DeShields, who gets the shotgun snap. They're going to run up the middle. Nope, TJ's going to keep it. He's got room if he goes, and he's going to be short of the first down. Now the question is, the Purple Raiders, do they give it a go? Tackle by Tony Tirado, number 59. And it's going to be a full yard short of the first down. Mount Union 4th and 1 at the John Carroll 22-yard line.
So if this makes sense, Sam, that was a very Noah Boudry play, not necessarily a TJ DeShields play. Now, last time they had a 3rd or a 4th and short. It was a 3rd and short earlier. They ran it right up the middle. John Carroll didn't load the box. Looks like they're not doing that again here.
Raiders splitting them out this time as the tight end Sims is off the field. Give to Echeverry. He got through there. Big hole, 15-10. Tyler Echeverry to the 5 and a first and goal for Mount Union. Love the hole opened up. Left guard, left tackle. Echeverry just scooted his way in there for the first and goal.
Same as last time, Sam. Echeverry is the kind of key piece, the X factor for Mount Union.
Raiders hurry up. Stoppage. Timeout. Not sure why you're in a hurry there. Get a great drive going. Settle it down. You've got plenty of time there. Raiders call the timeout with 9:27 to go in the quarter. We'll keep it here. No score. Mount Union and John Carroll. Again, we will keep you up to date all day long on and the team up north. That'll be kicking off around 12:15 today down in Columbus. Boy, chilly down there today, too. Of course, I-90 is still shut down with the incredible snowfall along the snow belt and running all the way up through Buffalo.
Yeah, I wonder what that Buffalo game is going to be like. What is that, Sunday night? They play
Sunday
the 49ers.
Night. They should be able to play that. I don't think the NFL will kowtow like they did a couple years ago because of the weather. I think they'll be able to clean it up and get ready by the time Sunday night rolls around. Not to say it's going to be balmy in Buffalo on Sunday evening, but I think they'll be able to get that game in. 4
carries so far for Echeverry, 41 yards. See if he finishes it off here, Sam, on a first and goal from the 6.
Backs are split. Now they'll shift. Echeverry behind his quarterback. Darnell's going to go in a slot right. Tight left. Inside counter to Echeverry. Got picked up and body slammed. WWE style. Back and around the 7-yard line, so that's a loss of 1 yard on the play. Second and goal from the John Carroll 7-yard line.
I didn't hear the bell. I didn't realize the Undertaker was playing on defense now for John Carroll. Really nice play up front there. Just got low, decleated the offensive lineman, and gave a chance to make a play there. I think it's going to have to be some sort of play action down here, Sim. They're counting so much on loading the box and stopping the run. Watch a quick slant or some sort of play action.
Late substitutions here for Mount. The play clock at 3. DeShields waiting for the snap, gets it. Gives it to Tyler, trying to bounce it right side. Got to the 6, got to the 5, maybe to the 4. And that's all. Boy, John, it really becomes difficult. Once you get inside that 15, 10-yard line, field is shrunk, the space is shrunk, you still got 22 bodies. It's tough. It's tough to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I think you've got Turner on one side. You've got, obviously, Cooper probably on the other side. Maybe Sanders out there. Sanders going right, Turner coming left. Quick little play action, little slant, something to beat their man off the line.
Third and goal, Raiders at the John Carroll 4-yard line. No score. TJ back to throw in the flat, caught by Tyrell at the 5. At the 4, he reaches for the goal line. He's going to be just short of the goal line, and that is going to bring up 4th and goal, Mount Union. Oh, don't hurry up down here now. Well, they're going to hurry, in a hurry. DeShields under center. He gets the snap, gives it to Echeverry. Tyler got away. He pounds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Union. If he doesn't get away, John, they don't get the touchdown. But he wiggles away, does Echeverry, into the end zone. Purple Raiders on the board.
Is there a flag down?
No.
Okay. I looked up at the monitor and saw a flag graphic come up, and I was like, I didn't see one on the play. Nice run by Tyler, though. Finishes off a great drive. 7th carry for 44 yards and the touchdown. Just nice off-tackle run.
Yvonne Merrick kicking into the teeth of this wind, trying to get the extra point on the board. The kick is up. It is good. So the Purple Raiders come out of the box, and that was impressive. 7:35 to go in the opening quarter of play. Purple Raiders 7, John Carroll nothing. It's Purple Raider playoff football on 1310 WDPN.
So here I am in line at Papa Gyro's. I order the Gyro Supreme. Suddenly, the lady behind me chimes in.
It's pronounced gyro.
Then the fella behind her says,
It's a gyro.
I turn my back and I finish my order. I also need a large Grecian salad, some baklava chocolate swirl, and a Cajun gyro.
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 Okay. So no matter how you say it, you're not far from a Papa Gyro.
For Pete's sake,
It's Papayito. Find the Papayitos closest to you at papayitos.com.
Who's Pete?
Sam, it was a 14-play, 75-yard drive that took up 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Two key things: Tyler Echeverry 1-yard run for Mount to push it in, and that play, that drive, keeps Nick Septenfelter off the field and keeps him being cold on this sideline. Now he has the wind at his back. How does he come out? OAC's top passer. What does he look like this first drive? Great drive, though, by Mount to set the tone.
Couldn't script it any better. Wind is gusting now. This kick, yeah, smart. Keeps that on the ground. Little dribbler down to the 20. John Carroll returned to the 25-30, out to the 35, to the 36-yard line.
Mason Sullivan on the return.
So the Purple Raider defense, we'll get a look at them for the first time today. And for the first time today, Mr. Septenfelder and the Blue Streaks will take over 1st and 10.
Really going to be interesting to see. You know, you keep in mind last time, Mount Union unable until late in the game to really get pressure on him. How are they able to do here?
Septenfelder and company, 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. 7-0 Mount Union. 7:31 to go in the opening quarter of play. Movement, that's going to be a false start. The big right tackle for John Carroll flinched out of his stance. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down 15. Hey, if you can get this offense to play behind the sticks, that's a win for you.
You know what's crazy is, as good as Rossi Moore has been the preseason All-American, the guy who's really stood out this year, Sam's Caleb Brown. 14 tackles for loss and a team-leading 10.5 sacks. He was out the last game, kind of in street clothes, I think getting some rest against Muskingum.
Handoff around the left side. 31-32, Evan McVeigh will chop his way out to close to the 34-yard line. So a gain of 3. Well, John Carroll just subbed out about 6 guys and subbed in 6. So this will be a completely different look on offense for Coach Jeff Behrman and the Blue Streaks. Coming up on 7 flat in the opening quarter. Raiders on top by 7. Septenfelder in the gun. Montgomery will shift a little closer because come off tight to the right side. Back to throw Septenfelder. Left side, got a man caught. Out of bounds at the John Carroll 43. Dorian Fasten Jr. on the reception, and that will leave the Blue Streaks with a 3rd down and around 4 at their own 37-yard line. 6:45 in the opening quarter. 7-0 Purple Raiders. NCAA Division III College Football Playoffs. This is round 2. John Carroll, an easy win last weekend over Mount St. Joe. Raiders had the playoff bye. 3rd and 4, Septenfelder to throw. He got the ball ripped out of his hands. It's loose on the floor, loose on the carpet, picked up by the Raiders. Rossi Moore's got it to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Purple Raiders, Rossi Moore runs it all the way back. 13-0 Mount Union. What a way to start for the purple and white today.
Now, who was it that had the strip sack, Sam? It was Caleb Brown, who came racing off of that side of the line. Man, not able to hang on. The blocking him was the right tackle, and Caleb Brown just knocks the ball out of Septenfelter's hands, and Johnny on the spot. Rossi Moore picks it up and totes the rock the rest of the way.
Now, unfortunately, John, I have to tell you that there was a penalty flag dropped by the official because Mount Union was having too much fun, and a sideline warning.
Caleb Brown, though, Sam, just the year he continues to have. You know, we just mentioned him coming into that possession, but forces a fumble there, which by the notes is his 3rd forced fumble of the year, and sack number 11.5 of the year. Just having a monster season.
Here comes the PAT. 13-0 Raiders. Snap spot. Owen gets his foot into it. Drills it up and good. And with 6:21 to go in the first quarter, Mount Union. Folks, I can't tell you how big of a play that just was. And I know there's a lot of football to be played. But to go up in this game 14-0 in these windy conditions, I can't tell you how big that was.
Oh, it completely changes the complexion of everything that John Carroll was looking to do. Because now, whereas maybe they could establish the run and take some time and do certain things, all of a sudden, it's drop back and pass every time now for Septenfelter. And Sam, we talked about it at the outset of the broadcast, but last time, Mount Union unable to get pressure on him like that at really any point throughout the game, and to be able to force that early in the game, Mount Union looks loose. They look loose and they look ready. And I'm going to tell you what, this is the best they've looked to me all year in a first quarter.
Yes.
Like, they've never looked this crisp all year. They've kind of been lackadaisical a lot of the year, and this is interesting to see because I think, Sam, we've been waiting. When's the gear going to go from 3 to 4? And this looks like fourth gear.
Yeah. They have come out of the chute blistering today. Still got some folks coming through. The visiting section here is filled up nicely. The last 5 or 10 minutes, the Mount crowd has gotten a little bit bigger. Well short of a sellout today, but good crowd considering everything that's going on today. John Carroll returned 10, 15, 20, 24, and out to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. So Cardamon on the return, and John Carroll will take over first and 10. 14-0 Raiders, 6:17 to go in the first quarter play. Of course, school is on break, so there's no band today. You've got the cheerleading squad here, maybe 15 or 20 students down there to the right, so not the usual festive atmosphere that you get, but because the kids are away on break, it takes that down a notch or two, but still a pretty good atmosphere considering what's all in play today. Septenfelder and company, first down, handoff over left guard, left tackle, 30, 31, 32-yard line. Marcus Jackson there on the stop for the Raiders. Renard also over there as well. As Quincy Newsom took that ball and picked up 5 yards on the play, second down. How does John Carroll react here now? Get a couple of quick jabs they've absorbed and are down 14-0, 5:50 to go, first quarter of play. Septenfelder will put Mintz in motion. He'll roll that way, now come back across his body, incomplete, looking for the big tight end over here at around the 35-yard line. That's Kenneth Rawls.
A couple of flags down in the backfield, too.
Yeah, a couple late throws. It's got to be a hold or a roughing, right? Yep. So roughing the passer is called, and that's an automatic first down. John Carroll would have had a 3rd and 5 coming up, but he called roughing the passer. Ooh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's pretty egregious right there. That's a really hard hit too. I mean, he had his left
leg.
Yeah,
kind of went down at a real. Now he popped right back up, did Septenfelder.
Yeah, it looks like he's got that left leg in a brace as it is already. That left leg looks about 2 times as big as the right leg.
Ooh, so he's okay.
That was Caleb Renard, by the way. I have no problem with finishing on the play. Good effort and everything, but
Raiders will put 5 on the defensive line of scrimmage. John Carroll on a 1st and 10. Septenfelder had it batted down, and that was Rossi Moore who climbed the ladder and swatted that pigskin down to the frozen turf. Second down.
I know no one around here puts it in the press clippings that Mount Union's defense has been suspect at times this year. I don't know what the coaches said to them the last 2 weeks, but this is not the defense we saw a couple weeks ago at Muskingum. This defense looks amped. They look crisp. They look ready to play. They were very suspect a couple weeks ago at Muskingum, Sam.
Yep. John Carroll, by the way, Mount giving up 14.2 points a game, but they look really, really good today. Pass out in the flat. Caught. Big time hit over there by the Purple Raiders. And let's see here. Newsom, the reception, got drilled out of bounds just crossing midfield to the Mount Union 49-yard line. I got 2 different looks over here. I don't have a 44 that's correct on either one. We'll find out who that young fellow here. I think I got it right here. 3rd down and 6, John Carroll. Back to the action. Flag down. And the pass is complete to Fasten, but pretty good bet this is going to be coming back. By the way, 44 is Ricky Buggs for Mount Union. He's on the roster today wearing number 44.
John Carroll linemen are pointing as if it's on Mount, but I would find that hard to believe based on where that flag is.
I want to say it was almost, yeah, John Carroll, 5-yard penalty. 5:03 to go in the first quarter. Purple Raiders 14, John Carroll nothing on 1310 WDPN. Hello to Raider Nation, tuned in today all over the world at Q92radiosports.com.
I know we just have that window open, but I mean it is even drafty in here now. My wife bought me a new Columbia jacket recently.
He busted that out today.
Keeping me warm.
I didn't go full coat today. I kind of did the same thing you did.
I know. I mean, it's comfortable, you know. Like
not time for the full coat yet. Septenfelder back to throw. Oh,
nice
wide
play.
open. McVay out of the backfield, 35. McVay cuts it back to the 30. He's still on his feet, breaking tackles to the 25. Look at McVay all the way down to the Mount Union 20-yard line. Holy cow. Evan McVay, 5'8", $180. He was in wide open space when he caught it. All he had to do was figure out where he wanted to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was just a delayed route out of the backfield. I mean,
nothing special.
Nothing crazy. And no linebacker, no corner help, nothing over there to pick him up. And, I mean, Sam, if he had gotten the right block downfield, he could have easily found the end zone.
So the Blue Streaks now with the wind at their back. 1st and 10 at the Raider 20-yard line. Mintz in motion. He'll head upfield. Back to throw is Septenfelder. He looks. He steps up. He fires. Right side. Got a man wide open and rolls. Couldn't hold it at the Raider 3-yard line. Ooh. Raiders dodged one right there. Rawls had it right in his mitts. Couldn't hold it. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, tight end running that post corner route towards that corner of the end zone and ran a nice one. Found the soft spot there where no one was covering in the zone. Safety back in the end zone, linebacker underneath, and corner over top, and ball just a little bit behind. That's probably the only thing that he could have done better.
Quincy Newsome at tailback now for John Carroll. They kind of button it up here on a 2nd down and 10. Right up the middle is Newsome, pounding inside the 15 to the 14. Newsome to the 13. He's to the 12-yard line. Newsome got an extra 3 yards on sheer guts. Raiders finally able to bring him down. Roland. And looked like Jackson was down there maybe.
It was almost some wing T style stuff there. They ran the fake, sweep behind it to Montgomery and then simple dive up the middle with Newsome. And like you said, Sam, I mean, he really fought extra effort on his part. Nice run.
Fasten Jr. wide to the left. Down here to the right is Montgomery. He'll come a little bit closer now, just off the tight end to the right. It's 3rd down and 2 for John Carroll. Septenfelder to throw. Inside out. Fasten's got it. 2-1 touchdown. What a great route by Fasten. He came in, a little juke, back to the outside. Septenfelder knew he was going to go there, put it right on the money, and the Blue Streaks are on the board. 14-6 Mount Union, 13-13 to go in the first quarter of play.
Flag in the end zone.
I
Not
see
sure
that.
what that's for. Like you said, Sam, really great route there by Fasten, one of 2 talented wide receivers on the outside.
So unsportsmanlike conduct is called on John Carroll's celebration after the touchdown.
So are we just not allowing celebrations
Yeah,
on either
neither
side
team
today?
apparently is allowed to get excited about a score in a huge game.
God forbid.
Extra point upcoming for Carroll. Wind at the back. And that kick is up plenty long enough and good for Colin Schuler. So, if you thought that today was going to be, one of those icy defensive battles, 14-7 Purple Raiders, 13 to go in the opening quarter of play. And as we just mentioned, 10, 15 minutes ago in real lifetime how huge that score was for the Purple Raiders on that scoop and score by Rossi Moore. I got to say it again, how huge that score is for John Carroll, because if they go down 3 scores or even 17, but they come right down and chop this thing right in half, 14-7.
Yeah, 7-play, 58-yard drive. Septenfelder kind of found his rhythm on that, and a couple of key plays there, Sam. One being the roughing the passer that helped kind of aid the possession a little bit, and then also the pass to his running back in McVay, the 34-yard gain on that key play out of the backfield. Now, the key thing here for Mount is John Carroll, after that unsportsmanlike, going to be kicking from the 20. So Mount with Thomas, Cooper, and Williams back could really get some great starting field position here. The only thing favoring John Carroll, they have that wind.
Yep. If this was going into the wind from the 20, Mount might be looking at the 50-yard line. There's the kick, and boy, to the wind, aid that baby.
Wow.
I mean, oh my gosh, Cooper all the way back to his 12. 15-20, makes a man miss at the 25. Coop trying to get to the corner, 30, 31, 32-yard line. Boy, if you didn't think the wind was a factor, you found out there. That kickoff got carried an extra 20 yards in the air. And the Purple Raiders will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, sorry, Sam. What was crazy for Cooper is that he almost
misjudged
didn't
get back there.
Yeah. And that could have been a live ball down around the goal line.
Which could have been beyond
disastrous.
Interesting. Yes.
So first drive, we saw safe, simple stuff. It was probably scripted for TJ. How does it look here, second drive?
Trips left for the Raiders, slot right Turner, back to throw. TJ fires a dart. Turner with a great catch, and now they're going to say he was out of bounds at the 41-yard line. He still got the ball in his arms. Must not have been able to get both, or at least one foot in. Hard to tell on the replay here. Got blocked out by an assistant coach on that replay. Let's see what this one shows.
It's a good call.
Oh. Incomplete. Purple Raiders up 14-7. Exactly 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. TJ to throw. DeShields looks. Outlet man, Tyler Echeverry, 35. Tyler stiff arm and gets out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Taken out of bounds by Dylan Crassy, number 12 for the Blue Streaks. Dylan 5'11", 70-pounder, defensive back. Big play here now. 3rd and 6 Purple Raiders going into the wind at their own 36-yard line. 2:35 in the opening quarter. Mount Union 14, John Carroll 7. NCAA Division III College Football Playoff today, round 2 here in Alliance, Ohio. Winner moves on to 12 noon next week. Loser done. TJ DeShields in the gun to throw. TJ steps up. Now he's going to run. Got to the 40. That's it. That's going to bring up a 4th and 2.
Marker down.
And there is a penalty flag all the way down in the John Carroll 45-yard line. Looks like this is going to be defensive holding. And if you haven't heard the Blue Streak fans get vocal, you will hear them now after this play or after this penalty is announced over the PA system.
By the way, 3-0 Ohio State, 6:14 first quarter. Buckeyes force Michigan to punt. Buckeyes stall then in the red zone.
How Ohio State and Michigan is that score in the first quarter? 3-0 Buckeyes. So they got Harrison Feldman on a defensive hold for John Carroll. Purple Raiders, the beneficiary there, 1st and 10 Mount at the 50-yard line as they go right to left in a 14-7 lead. There goes Echeverry around the right side. Tyler 50, Tyler 49, Echeverry 48-yard line, and he will get no further. David Bradley, 32, was their first for the Blue Streaks on defense. Bradley 6'1", 195 out of Paynesville, Harvey. 1:35 to go in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, settle in here for a little bit. 14-7 Mount Union over John Carroll. Trips to the left, nobody to the right. TJ back to throw. Looking left, nobody home. Now TJ's going to roll right now. He's just going to go and run it out of bounds. He scampers out and around the John Carroll 47, so only a gain of about a yard on the play. There was nobody, John, on the entire right side of the field. I mean, it was either he was going to run or there was no other outlet there for him.
Yeah, I mean, it was a play designed to go to Nick Turner. They run that play often. It's a wheel down the left sideline that he kind of finds the spot in the zone, and it's normally open and just wasn't there, and TJ just avoided taking the sack.
3rd down and 8 Raiders at the John Carroll 48-yard line. 48 seconds to go. Play clock is down to 2. It's down to 1. Didn't get it off in time. Didn't get the play off. Jeff Dart, first one out on the field for Mount Union. Did they get the timeout?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
You know, you've got to wonder here, Sam. We talked about it. We see Noah Boudry down there in uniform, and we see that he's out there, you know, helping in the huddle, but is he capable of coming out on the field at any point and potentially taking some snaps? Because a lot of these plays, you know, and I'm not saying that TJ is not capable, but his wheels are not there to make.
Yeah, they're Noah Boudry drawn up plays.
Yes.
Yeah, TJ is running them, right.
Yeah, which to me, Sam, is surprising because you had 2 weeks to design an offense that was perfectly fit for TJ and perfectly fit for him, that was not a lot of this RPO kind of stuff. And I don't know. It's just kind of puzzling. And a big 3rd down here. You got to be really careful. Wind in your face. This is where a turnover can easily happen.
Are you 2-down territory here?
No.
No?
Not this early in the game.
3rd and 8, Purple Raiders at the John Carroll 48-yard line. 42 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. See if Carroll brings some heat. DeShields is in the gun. Gets the snap. Here they come. TJ throws it in the flat. Echeverry's got it. He's got room. 45-40. First down, Purple Raiders at the John Carroll 37-yard line. They got 11 on the play. Echeverry in space in the flat. First down.
Kind of funny. It's a similar play to what John Carroll found success on with McVay. Just simply run Echeverry out. You ran everyone down the field on almost goes or, you know, streak type of plays. And
Gonna say, no need to run a play here. Put that wind and put it in your pocket for the second quarter. 5 seconds remaining, and the Raiders will run out the clock. So a pretty good first 15 minutes here in Alliance. NCAA College Football Division III Playoff Round 2. Mount Union 14, John Carroll 7. John and I will be back on 1310 WDPN.
For over 80 years, Montfort Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Montfort's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis Windshield Repair System, just one of the expert repairs from Montfort Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Montfort Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
One quarter in the books here at Carroll Stadium, and after one, Mount Union 14, John Carroll 7. Mount Union outgaining John Carroll through a quarter, 91 yards to 63. G-Day DeShields, 5 for 7 for 34 yards. Nick Septenfelter, 4 for 6 for 60, and leading rusher in the game for Mount, Tyler Echeverry, 8 carries, 45 yards, and a score. Sam?
Purple Raiders 1st and 10 at the John Carroll 37-yard line. Motion to the near side. TJ back to throw. Steps up at the pocket. Fires. Almost intercepted. Oh, boy.
So a couple things there. One, they had Turner running the deep post. They had kind of a cross coming underneath with Tyrell Sanders, but Sanders was in triple coverage, Sam. And when you add to it, Turner tried to beat his man, and this is where I don't know, Sam, what is the fielding like down there? What is the footwork like? Because it looked like Turner tried to plant and go, and he couldn't quite do it.
Lamar Thomas had himself an interception, and thankfully he didn't hold on. 2nd and 10 Raiders at the John Carroll 37-yard line. DeShields to throw, left side, caught at the 32, and down immediately at the 32-yard line. Well, there was no getting away that time. Nick Turner, I kind of thought he might be able to wiggle out of that mess and get a couple yards, but John Carroll with gang tackling 4 or 5 gold helmets down there at the 32-yard line, setting up a Purple Raider 3rd and 5 at the John Carroll 32. 14-7 Raiders, 14:25 in the first half of play here in chilly, windy, blustery Alliance, Ohio. Round 2 of the NCAA Division III College Football Playoffs. DeShields in the gun. Twins right. Echeverry going to go right, 30. Tyler, 25. Echeverry, 20. 15. He's inside the 12 and out of bounds and around the 10-yard line. Tyler Echeverry getting it done today once again for Coach Dart and the Purple Raiders, and it's a first down.
Looked like the Lombardi sweep there. You had Sean Thomas out in front blocking, had Matt Anderson, the tight end, down there blocking down the right sideline. Just beautifully designed play. Classic football. I know it's out of the shotgun, Sam, but it really did have that Taylor Horning Lombardi sweep look to it, which was pretty cool to watch.
Echeverry, the 2024 Bob Packard offensive back of the season. Showing you why right there. 1st and goal Raiders at the John Carroll 10-yard line. DeShields gives it back to Tyler. Not a lot of room here, and he's going to get to the 9, and that's it. So a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and goal. There was a lot of congestion over here. A lot of gold helmets. And they kind of won the line of scrimmage battle there, did John Carroll, and Echeverry able to squeeze out 1, 2nd and goal from the John Carroll 9.
Yeah, I don't know what the record is for least passing yards in a game, but
I'd see it today.
Mount Union might be heading there today. The way this game plan is suiting out, and John Carroll cannot stop the run. Mount Union cannot stop the pass, meaning that you're going to have two teams doing diametrically opposed systems on offense.
Raiders with the wind at their back. That's gusting at about 20, 25 miles an hour. Pop pass right side, Echeverry, and he got to the 8-yard line before he is wrapped up by Jacob Huffnagel here in the flat by John Carroll. A very sure-handed tackle by Huffnagel. And that'll leave the Raiders now with a 3rd and goal at about the John Carroll 8-yard line. 12:25 in the first half. Purple Raiders 14-7. Got to come out of here with at least 3, John.
Well,
You got the wind at your back, but boy, you'd love to punch one in here and get that 7 back on the board.
Drew Sims just checked in, the big tight end. Last time we saw them in a scenario like this, 10 on the play clock, by the way, they ran kind of a delayed block and then a little pattern into the end zone.
3 on the clock, 2 on the clock. Handoff, Echeverry 5, Tyler 4, 2. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Union. From 8 yards away. A little RPO look, a delayed handoff to Echeverry. He found room, got a couple of nice blocks by his friends up front. 6 more for the Raiders, 20-7 Mount Union.
Got the guard and tackle from that right side, Ben Lilly, and big man who's the guard over there as well, pulling to that right side and creating some open space, and just get Tyler one-on-one up in there, and he makes the play, Sam.
Echeverry just told Wilson for John Carroll, get off me. I'm going into the end zone. Yvonne Merrick, extra point is up. He drills it. And with 11:59 to go in the first half, another big boy drive by Mount Union. Purple Raiders 21, John Carroll 7. And, John, we haven't seen this Raider offense humming like this against this type of opponent in quite a while.
No, there's no question. They have all of their tricks and all of their things working today, and it's fun to watch when it plays like this because they find ways to make plays. They find ways to get guys into the open field, and you have the running back of the year in the OAC in Tyler Echeverry, and we've been so impressed with him all year, Sam, and he continues to do that here today on a cold day when his runs mean that much more. By the way, Michigan right now with a 4th and 1 coming up at the Ohio State 3.
About 2 seconds left in the quarter in Columbus. Buckeyes on top 3-zip.
It's a 10-play, 72-yard drive going for the Wolverines.
Baylor leads Kansas 14-7, second quarter. Texas take over West Virginia 6-3. Duke 3, Wake Forest at nothing. These games are all in the second quarter. Louisville leads Kentucky 13-0. Vandy over Tennessee 14-7 early. Kickoff, return McVay at the 6. Left hash 10, 15, spins at the 20, and McVay got taken down at the 22-yard line. Downfield, that was Thomas on the tackle for the Purple Raiders. Sean Thomas just doing whatever he can when he's called upon for this Mount Union football team. Downfield on special teams, and he makes the play. So 21-7 Raiders that win now, gusting as hard as it has all day. And now for the first time, John Carroll's got to go into the teeth of that wind. Streaks 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Mount on top, 21-7. Septenfelder, little vanilla handoff, if you will, over the left side of the 21 to the 22-yard line, and that is it. Rossi, Moore, Jackson, Bugs, all in there defensively for the Purple Raiders. And there was not a whole lot of running room that time for Nemo Jenkins, the running back, 6-footer.
By the way, the game that will play the winner of this one is Carnegie Mellon and Center, or Centre, I'm not sure.
Center.
Yep. It's 7-0 Carnegie Mellon early in the second quarter.
We'll keep our eyes on that one too. Buckeyes still on top of Michigan 3-zip as they get ready to go to the second quarter in Columbus. Inside handoff, 20, 25, 30. First down, John Carroll to the 34, out to the 35-yard line. So that time, Nemo Jenkins really ran well off of his blocks that time provided. Out to the 35-yard line, first down, John Carroll.
It's a good-sized kid. I'm impressed with how he runs and keeps his shoulders square. Just really nice running style. I like the delayed type of handoff, too. It allowed the blockers to fill up in there.
They got Jenkins at 6 foot, 180 pounds. Mintz will go in motion far side. There's Jenkins again. That time the Raiders are waiting on him and wrap him up at the 36-yard line. So Mount Union, Jackson Harris in there to lead the charge. Vaughn Factor finishing things up for Mount Union.
John Carroll realizes they need to establish the run. So far, Mount Union outgaming them 87 yards on the ground to 17. So if they can establish that, it'll give Septenfelder more time with the Mount Union pass rush.
Tom Fusick in motion to the right. Now he'll stop as an H-back. Septenfelder, end around handoff to number 4, Montgomery. Nothing to the right, going to come back left. They got to hem him in here, and they do. Bugs got him back at the 32-yard line. Marcus Jackson helps him finish the deal. That play was there, John, at the beginning. And once John Carroll, Montgomery figured out, I better turn in reverse direction. That time it gave Mount some time to kind of come back on the other side of the field to the wide side here, as it turned out, after the reverse to the right, came back left, and there was nothing doing 3rd and 13.
Well, really impressed there by the play by Bugs. Quick job by the corner to come up and diagnose that as he reversed the field.
See if the Raiders can get off the field now. John Carroll, 3rd and 13. Septenfelder back to throw. Septen got a man wide open. Caught, first down, John Carroll at the Mount Union 48-yard line. It's Montgomery wide open. You saw it open up here from our vantage point, and it was just a matter of, was Septenfelder going to get the ball in there, and he did, first down.
He's just so good. I mean, you know, he never panics, Sam. That's the thing about him. He just always looks at ease in the pocket. And the couple times Mount has gotten pressure on him, it forces a quicker decision. They really, really need to fight to get that pass rush on him.
Montgomery just over 95 yards receiving a game for this John Carroll offense. Here's a handoff, tailback 50, 45, 40. Jansen's with the tackle at about the 41-yard line, but not before Nemo Jenkins rips off a gain of around 9 yards on the play. 2nd down and 1 for John Carroll. 8-10 in the first half. If you're just joining us, hope you're having a great Saturday. Happy post-Thanksgiving, everybody. 21-7 Mount Union over John Carroll here in Alliance.
OSU takes over 1st and 10 at the 3. They stop Michigan for no gain.
Big defensive stop by the Buckeyes. Here it's 21-7 Raiders. Motion to the right side is Tom Fusick. Almost batted up in the air and almost a pickoff by Caleb Brown at the 50-yard line. Septenfelder, he wishes he maybe had that one back. Instead of lofting it higher, he threw a BB, and Brown almost was able to come down with it.
I don't know what the process looks like to pick an All-American after the season, but if Caleb Brown isn't an All-American,
something's wrong.
There's a disservice being done at the D3 level. They had a lineman lined up there for a moment at running back.
Motion to the right side. They're going to go straight handoff right over the left side for Nemo Jenkins. He pounds it for a first down to the Mount Union 35-yard line.
They looked like they were going to go into a single back look, and they actually had a lineman, Nick Northrup, lined up behind the quarterback. Then they switched everything out and they spread it out into the shotgun, and they bring Jenkins behind the quarterback. Just window dressing, but cool to watch.
Fasten Jr. comes out for this play. Mason Bala is in, number 80. He'll line up just off the left tackle side. They'll put him in motion. They'll run Jenkins that way. Big hole. My goodness, 35-30. Breaks a tackle down to the 25-yard line. That should be another first down for John Carroll. Boy, they've got the Purple Raider defense now on their heels these last 4 or 5 snaps on this drive.
I mean, they just cleared it out in there. It was the left guard, Matt Russo, pulling in there. And what was crazy is you mentioned it, the extra wide receiver that came in, number 80. Sam, he didn't have anybody in front of him. Mason Bala ran through that hole just as open as Jenkins did.
Now, luckily for Mount, Jenkins has to come off the field and get his helmet worked on. McVeigh will come in as his replacement and line up at a running back. Play action, Septenfelder to throw. He steps up, he fires, caught inside the 15 to the 14 to the 13-yard line. That's Tom Fusick. Number 18, the tight end, 6'1", 215.
Man, I don't know where they get him, Sam, but it's like it seems like Coach Behrman on the sideline just has a pile of guys that are all about the same size and the same level of athleticism.
And they go about 2 or 3 deep at that particular spot, the tight end. 21-7 Mount, but the Blue Streaks are down to the Purple Raider 12-yard line. 1st and 10 with 5:45 in the first half of play. Delayed fake, back to throw. Septenfelder fires left corner of the end zone, incomplete. I'm waiting for a penalty flag. It didn't come out.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't throw one because Bugs
never turned around.
He didn't, and he had his hands right up in there pressing into the midsection of Fasten, who was the intended target.
Yeah.
He never
Ricky never turned around.
I don't know how they didn't call that. That's a bullet dodge by the Purple Raiders right there, Sam.
Now, the one good thing that I noticed on that particular play, Mount had 4 guys in the face of Septenfelder when he let that go. So it looks like they're maybe starting to get a little pressure on the Blue Streak quarterback. There's an inside handoff to Jenkins, right over left guard, left tackle, slamming his way inside the 10, and he is down to the Mount Union 7-yard line.
Must be nice for you to have that, just direct line of sight into seeing the game. You don't have to look through TV equipment like I do.
Hey, you could be at Medina trying to call a high school game, which we did a couple weeks ago.
Don't remind me. I'm still recovering from that.
We are coming up on 5 minutes to go in the first half. Purple Raiders 21, Blue Streak 7, and a frigid Carroll Stadium here in Alliance. I mean to tell you, folks, and we got the windows open. It is cold. Septenfelder in the gun. Handoff over the left side, Jenkins to the 6, to the 5. Lost a shoe, and he's down just inside the Mount Union 5-yard line.
You know what I'm really surprised by is that they've been able to kind of rule the roost up front with the run on this drive. That's not something that many teams have done against Mount Union, but now here a 4th and 3, And I'm not sure. I mean, they have all 3 of their timeouts. Probably look for it to go through Septenfelter here.
Play clock is at 12. The game clock at 4:15. Boy, I would be shocked if they run this play. It's down to 5, the play clock. Septenfelder trying to get all the window dressing set. They'll snap the ball. Septenfelder, look at this. Wide open McVay. But he falls down at the 3-yard line. And he won't get into the end zone. And depending on the spot, I think the Purple Raiders will get the ball 1st and 10. What an unbelievable break for Mount Union as McVay was so by himself in the right flat, caught the ball. But, John, you touched on it a couple series ago. Guys are having some footing issues with the slick turf with the snow, and that's what cost him a touchdown.
He just,
Now, did he get a first down? No. The sticks are out. It's Mount Union football, and oh boy, that is another huge break for the Purple Raiders.
That's just unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. A guy as sure-footed and as sure-handed as McVay making a play like that. And what's crazy, Sam, is that if he just caught it and started, slowly running, he would have easily gotten to the end zone.
Michigan has taken a 7-3 lead over Ohio State. Second quarter down in Columbus. Here we go, Raiders. 1st and 10 at their own 3. They're going to throw the ball. Deep to Shields. Got a man, Sanders, but he overthrew him by about 7 yards. All the way out of the 40-yard line, incomplete. That is called, let's take advantage of the wind. Let's have Terrell run as fast as he can. But it was an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
Ryan Day coaching for his job today, by the way.
Well,
right? I mean, lose that game? Are you out of the playoff?
No, I still think you're a top 12 team, but they will make the road that much more difficult. 21-7 here, Mount Union. Inside handoff to Echeverry. Tyler, was he able to get across the 5? Barely to the 6-yard line. So now John Carroll really wants to get off the field on this 3rd down. The Raiders want to keep this drive alive. Not only that, if you're Mount, you'd probably like to just hold on to the ball here the rest of the half.
Mount Union is 4 for 6 on 3rd downs, 2 for 2 on 4th downs. John Carroll 0 for 1 on that 1 4th down try. That's a big difference. And Sam, I know you keep talking about it, but that play by Rossi Moore and Caleb Brown, the magnitude of that touchdown.
3rd and 7, Mount at their own 6. Back to throw is DeShields. He fires a BB. Caught by Sanders and a 1st down. Raiders across the 16 to the 17-yard line. And did Mr. DeShields whistle that baby in there? Sanders cradled it, caught it, cupped it, 1st down.
You know what's crazy about this now, too, is that this was going to be a 21-14 game. And now it could be 28-7 going into halftime. And why that's significant is that if it was 21-14, John Carroll would have gotten the ball coming out of the break with a chance to tie it. This could be a 3-touchdown game going into the break, Sam.
Tyrell Sanders coming in today, 35 catches, 591 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Boy, DeShields, he has got a fastball, I'm telling you. It's fun to watch him throw the ball. There's DeShields on a fake to Darnell. TJ will rumble, and I mean rumble, out to the 21-yard line for a gain of 3.
Yeah,
feel much better now getting that ball on that side of the 20-yard line.
Yeah, there's nothing pretty about TJ running the football. Man, John Carroll has to feel so snake-bitten right now. What a drive they had going there, and it gets stopped on a play where your guy falls down going into the end zone.
I still can't believe. I mean, that was just that's an easy as a touchdown as you're ever going to have.
I mean, that's the play of the game right now, right? I mean, that and the fumble return by Rossi Moore, those are the 2 plays of the game. Ohio State still trailing, by the way, 7-3. That's with 12:37 in the second quarter. Other D3 scores going on right now. Carnegie Mellon leading center with 8:34 in the second quarter. 10-0 the score there. Another score of interest, I guess, if you're a John Carroll fan. That's DePaul leading Maryville 17-6 in the second round. And if I'm not mistaken, Sam, I think Mount Union could meet DePaul later on in the playoffs at some point.
Yeah, depending on
I need
how
to
the
look
committee wants to work the brackets, if you will.
I need to look back at it and see, but I know that that's a possible matchup of NCAC versus OAC. But that wouldn't be until the semifinal.
Correct. All right, the Raiders coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Darnell Williams to the 22. Darnell Williams skates his way out to the 25-yard line. Now I'm interested to see, John Carroll's got 3 timeouts remaining. Mount only has 1. We're down to $1:40 in the first half. Purple Raiders in front, 21-7. Here at Carroll Stadium, Division III College Football Playoffs, Round 2. On this Thanksgiving weekend. Hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday, and hopefully you still got plenty of leftovers to carry you through the weekend. 3rd down and 3, Mount Union. Echeverry gets the call. Tyler's got a big hole. 30, 35 to the 40 to midfield. Breaking tackles to the 40. Echeverry to the 35-yard line of John Carroll. There goes that man with number 0 on his back. 1st down, Mount Union.
Man, you let a play like that break off at this point in the game. And now Mount Union set up with 1 timeout, a 1st and 10 at the John Carroll 35. Just crazy. Echeverry over 100 yards now in the first half, too.
Plenty of time, Mount Union. 55 seconds to go. 1st down and 10 at the John Carroll 45. Everybody's set. DeShields gives it to Tyler, 35. Echeverry to the 30 to the John Carroll 29-yard line. Clock at 45. Clock at 44. Remember, the Raiders only have 1 timeout remaining. But if you're thinking at least field goal here, with the wind, you're probably already in range for Yvonne Marek.
Yeah, long of 51 this year, you're definitely in range.
1st and 10. I'm sorry, 2nd and 4. TJ's going to go back to throw. He's got a man wide open. Turner caught it at the 10-yard line, and he got out of bounds. 1st and goal, Mount Union. Oh, they're going to say keep running the clock. What the heck was that guy looking at? Now you got to burn your timeout. So Jeff Dart says, all right, give us the timeout with 23 seconds left in the first half. 21-7 Mount Union, and the Raiders are going to have it, and it is going to be 1st and goal at the John Carroll 10-yard line. So you're out of timeouts. You got 23 seconds left. Plenty of time to run 3 plays here. I guess it all depends situationally what you do here on 1st and 2nd. That would tell you what you maybe want to do on 3rd and possibly, are you going for the 6 or are you going to go for the 3 at some point?
So if we're looking forward to next week in terms of where that would be, Mount would be back here, correct?
Well, they will put a bid in.
If not,
I've seen this movie before where when I would go to bed the night before the announcements that I guaranteed we would be here at Mount, and there's been a curveball thrown.
well, if not, we'd go to Carnegie Mellon, which would be Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
It's better than like going to like Texas or Oshkosh.
Well, the goal is to get to Texas, my friend.
Well, it
at
is,
some point,
but not until January.
Here we go. Yeah, how about that? January 5th. All right, here we go. 1st and goal, Raiders at the John Carroll 10-yard line. They lead 21-7. Darnell in motion. TJ rolling out. Got it. Man open. Incomplete, but there's a penalty flag thrown. He tried to get it to the tight end, Matt Anderson, who was wide open.
Second defensive holding call
But-
going to go on John Carroll.
Yes, they are going to get defensive holding on John Carroll. Don't know if we'll get a chance to see this on replay. Yeah, it looks like maybe we will. Now, boy, we'll see if they don't go back to that play at some point, because that was a surefire touchdown for the Raiders. 18 seconds left to go.
Do you have enough time here to run the ball? Or do you have to keep it all in the air? I know Caleb Williams.
You know what?
And
It's
Matt
1st and
Eberflus
goal
are
at
on
the
side.
5. I don't know. Maybe.
Unless Matt Eberflus is on the sideline.
Oh. First and goal Raiders at the John Carroll 5. 18 seconds to go in the first half. Mount on top 21-7. TJ running left. Big fella got stonewalled at the 1 yard line. Now they have got to hurry up and get up to the line. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They snap it with 2 seconds. My goodness. Well, I think, is there a penalty flag? TJ DeShields is pointing at John Carroll. Ball is at, no, TJ is telling coach, let's go for the 6. That's what he's saying. So do you go for 3 to make it 24-7? I mean, it's an extra point. Or do you go for the throat here, John, and try to make it 28-7 at the half, and now John Carroll calls a timeout? What do you do here? I mean, the field goal is a gimme, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing, Sam, is that John Carroll gets the ball coming out of the break. If you don't get this, you give John Carroll momentum plus the ball coming out of the break.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you want to do here. If you keep it in touch and you get the 3, it's a 3-possession game. Isn't that your ultimate goal here? Make it a 3-possession game? I mean, to me, going for the field goal makes complete sense. It's 24-7 then, and I'm not saying you put John Carroll out of reach, but they'd have to play one heck of a second half to beat you at that point.
Now, the only thing is the wind so crazy now, even though it's at your back, does that come into play at all? But here's the thing. This is shorter than an extra point. And they are bringing the offense back out to the field. The Purple Raiders are going for the jugular right now. 3rd and goal at the 1, 2 seconds left in the first half.
Why is DeShields in the gun?
Wow. DeShields is in the gun. Raiders all kind of window dressing. Put a motion to the right side. Anderson back to throw. Echeverry caught it. Touchdown. Mount Union. Jeff Dart is a genius. 27-7 Raiders on the final play of the first half. They'll get the PAT. And boy, did they have John Carroll fooled on that play, John.
Yeah, I think everybody thought it was going to be a simple run of some sort. They, as you said, had so much window dressing, so many things we haven't seen. I mean, they moved things multiple times throughout that, and then they sent Darnell in motion outright to try to fool where the ball was going to go, and Tyler Echeverry, the game breaker so far.
Yvonne Merrick with the extra point. He blasted through the pipes, and the first half is over in Alliance. Folks, you could not ask for a better first half for the Mount Union Purple Raiders. 2 quarters in the books. NCAA Division III College Football Playoffs. It's Mount Union 28, John Carroll 7. The big halftime report is coming up next. Keep it here on 1310 WDPN. Streaming live at Q92radiosports.com.
Hey, folks, this is AJ Armour. Fully Armour Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Truck 62 or Space Green Alliance. It's the Black Friday sales event at Wally Armour. We have some great deals on our entire lineup of
EPA filed the complaint over how the city discharges its raw sewage. An agreement in 2002 said the city would spend $12 million in short-term improvements and $100 million over 20 years, along with developing a long-term plan. The city filed a motion in March to modify the agreement, citing significant increases in cost and overflow data. The Canton Post of the Highway Patrol has honored two of their own. Chase Miller was selected as the 2024 Trooper of the Year. Fellow officers cite his leadership abilities, professional ethics, courteous treatment of others, enthusiastic work attitude, and cooperation with supervisors, peers, and the public. Miller has served at the Canton Post since 2022. Megan Swanger was named Dispatcher of the Year. She joined the patrol in 2017 and has served at the Canton Dispatch Center since joining the division. Officers and dispatchers point to her technical job knowledge and ability, teamwork, and prompt, courteous response to the public's requests for information and assistance. A deer culling program in the Mill Creek Metro Parks has seen 108 deer killed by hunters since September 29th. That is in addition to the 75 deer harvested this fall by U.S. Department of Agriculture employed sharpshooters. According to the Vindicator, Nick Derrico, Natural Resources Manager for the Metro Parks, said archery hunts have ended at most locations with firearm hunts to begin Saturday. 204 deer were removed from the parks through hunting and sharpshooting last year. A local group unhappy with the hunt filed a petition in Mahoning County Probate Court asking Parks Board members to be removed. Retired Carroll County Judge John Campbell heard testimony in August. No other filings have taken place. Smith Township will build a new salt storage facility. State funding totaling $47,000 will help pay for the facility as part of the Ohio EPA Chloride Reduction Grant Program. The program helps reduce excessive road salt usage and encourages communities to adopt best salt management practices. $2.7 million in grants were announced August 1st by the state to upgrade equipment and salt storage facilities. Residential water well sampling in the East Palestine area would be expanded if a grant is approved. Columbia County Port Authority Executive Director CEO Penny Trena was authorized to apply for $2 million through the EPA. Port Authority would provide administrative services for the well sampling project, while the County Health District will conduct the actual sampling. The Port Authority will receive up to 7% of the awarded grant amount, while 3% would go to the Health District. Expansion of this testing will allow for sampling to take place outside the priority zones set up after the February 2023 train derailment. The outgoing head of Ohio's troubled teacher retirement system said she's leaving the fund in strong fiscal condition despite turmoil at the top of that her successor will inherit. Lynn Hoover retires as acting executive director and CFO of the $94 billion state teachers retirement system of Ohio, said Sunday. She said that the 545,000 member fund's returns remain within the top 10% of peer funds around the country. But Hoover said new interim director Aaron Hood will have to help the board lead a nationwide search for a new permanent director and hire a new chief financial officer, chief investment officer, and head of internal audit. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has flown to Florida to have dinner with President-elect Donald Trump at his Mar-a-Lago club after Trump threatened to impose sweeping tariffs on Canadian products. Joining Trump and Trudeau at dinner were Trump's picks for Commerce Secretary, Interior Secretary, and National Security Advisor, and the three men's wives. From the Canadian side, the dinner guests included Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc, whose responsibilities include border security. Trump's transition did not respond to questions about what they had discussed or whether the conversation alleviated Trump's concerns about the border. A smiling Trudeau declined comment upon returning to his West Palm Beach hotel late Friday. The first big snow of the season has the potential to bury towns in New York, Lakes Erie, and Ontario during a hectic holiday travel and shopping weekend. Forecasters warn 4 to 6 feet of blowing and drifting snow could fall in Watertown and other areas of Lake Ontario through Monday. After an unusually mild fall, as much as 2 to 3 feet of lake effect snow are possible along Lake Erie and south of Buffalo. Governor Kathy Hochul has declared a disaster emergency in those areas. Heavy lake effect snow in parts of northern Michigan is expected into the weekend. The National Weather Service says some areas of the Upper Peninsula could see up to 3 feet of snow Sunday night through to Monday. We will return you to the field after this weather update from Mark Johnson. From the Q92 Sports Newsroom, I'm Ryan Rainsberg.
Well, it's going to be a very cold Saturday for late November, 26 degrees for the high under a partly sunny sky. Overnight clouds moving in again, a low near 20. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Hello, Purple Raider fans. Chuck Moore here, former Mount Union running back, four-time national champion, and 2001 Gallardi Trophy winner. Are you facing some major financial events, things like retirement, marriage, divorce, or selling a business? We at Markham Wealth understand, and we can help. Call 330-564-8590 or visit www.markhamwealth.com for a free consultation.
Neither tailored services nor the background of your financial professional should be construed as a guarantee of a particular outcome. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All investing comes with risk, including risk of loss. Markham Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not apply to certain level of skill or training.
So here I am in line at Papa Gyro. I order the Gyro Supreme. Suddenly, the lady behind me chimes in.
It's pronounced gyro.
Then the fella behind her says,
It's a gyro.
I turn my back and I finish my order. I also need a large Crucian salad, some baklava chocolate swirl, and a Cajun gyro.
Gyro.
Okay. So no matter how you say it, you're not far from a Papa Gyro.
For Pete's sake, it's Papayito. Find the Papayitos closest to you at papayitos.com.
Where's Pete?
For over 80 years, Bonford Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Bonford's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis Windshield Repair System, just one of the expert repairs from Bonford Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Bonford Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Hey folks, this is AJ Armour, Wally Armour Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Truck Route 62 or State Street Alliance. It's the Black Friday sales event at Wally Armour. We have some great deals for our entire lineup of Ram and brand vehicles. Starting now, we're going to have up to $14,000 off the 2025 Ram 200 Crew Cab Bighorn Night Pack. That's right. Save $14,000 off the brand new 25 Ram 1500. 20-inch black wheels and a 12-inch touchscreen. Looking for a low payment for a Ram truck? We have the deal for you. It's a new Ram 1500 Crew Cab is $995 down, $459 a month. All leases, 10,000 miles, 42 months, plus tax and title. And we can't forget about your trade-in. Wally Armour needs your vehicle. Get a great deal and the best value for your trade at Wally Armour. Check us out online at wallyarmour.com. There you can see our entire inventory and start your deal with our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff. And remember, folks, nobody sells them for less.
We're turning back in here to Mount Union as we bring you live action from Carroll Stadium as the Purple Raiders of Mount Union lead John Carroll 28-7 here at the halftime break. John Bozica along with you. Sam Burke went away for the moment, but going to run you through some halftime stats and some highlights from this game. Again, halftime score, Mount Union 28, John Carroll 7. Mount Union 13 first downs to 8 for John Carroll. Mount Union 147 yards on the ground, 44 for John Carroll. Mount Union 73 passing yards, John Carroll 95. Total offense 220 for Mount, 139 for John Carroll. Mount Union's Tyler Echeverry, the leading rusher in the game, 14 attempts, 124 yards, and 2 scores to go along with a third through the air as well. He's accounted for all 3 Mount touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 1 that he received right at the end of the half on a key play. One of the key notes from the first half is that Mount Union is perfect on 4th down plays. They've been to 4th down a number of times and they've converted each and every time. And they are also 3 for 3 in the red zone, whereas John Carroll is just 1 for 2, coming up empty-handed the last chance that they were there in the first half. TJ DeShields, 10 for 14 in the first half, 73 yards and a passing touchdown. Individuals for John Carroll, Nehemiah Jenkins, 8 carries, 45 yards. Quincy Newsom, 2 for 12. Evan McVeigh, 1 for 3. Septon Felter, 7 of 11 through the air for John Carroll for 95 yards and a touchdown. Leading receivers, McVeigh, 2 catches, 36 yards. Montgomery, leading receiver for John Carroll, just 1 for 20. And Dorian Fasten Jr. with 2 receptions for 22 yards and a score. In the first half, it was the play of Marcus Jackson and Ricky Buggs, as well as a key play by Rossi Moore on a return defensively that led the Purple Raiders charge, and Caleb Brown with a key sack in the half as well. Let's look at the scoring plays now. First quarter, Mount Union's first drive, a thing of beauty, and it was capped by the first of 3 Tyler Echeverry first half touchdowns. Here's how it sounded.
Well, they're going to hurry, in a hurry. Shields under center. He gets the snap, gives it to Echeverry. Tyler got away. He pounds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Union. If he doesn't get away, John, they don't get the touchdown. But he wiggles away, does Echeverry, into the end zone. Purple Raiders on the board.
1-yard score there by Echeverry, and a beauty of a drive. 14 plays, 75 yards. Mount would add to it. Not that much longer in the game away from that point. It was a defensive play by the Purple Raiders.
3rd and 4. Septon-Felder to throw. He gets the ball ripped out of his hands. It's loose on the floor, loose on the carpet, picked up by the Raiders. Rossi Moore's got it to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Purple Raiders. Rossi Moore runs it all the way back. 13-0 Mount Union. What a way to start for the purple and white today.
31 yards on the return, a thing of beauty. The play made on that play by Caleb Brown, just bull rushing to the quarterback and Septon-Felter and slapping the ball out of his hands. John Carroll would respond, though. This was all still in the first quarter, 3:13 left in the quarter, and it was a drive that ended with a Septon-Felter touchdown pass. Here it is.
3rd down and 2 for John Carroll. Septon-Felder to throw. Inside out. Fasten's got it. 2-1 touchdown. What a great route by Fasten. He came in, a little juke, back to the outside. Septon-Felder knew he was going to go there, put it right on the money, and the Blue Streaks are on the board. 14-6 Mount Union.
Was 14-7 after the extra point by Schuler. Moments later, though, second quarter, Mount Union again, Tyler Echeverry.
The clock, 2 on the clock. Handoff, Echeverry 5, Tyler 4, 2. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Union from 8 yards away. A little RPO look, a delayed handoff to Echeverry. He found room, got a couple of nice blocks by his friends up front. 6 more for the Raiders, 20-7 Mount Union.
A big boy drive by the Purple Raiders. That was a 12-play, 68-yard drive, and then arguably their most impressive drive right before the end of the half. They scored with all zeros on the clock and probably fooled everybody in the stadium as to what they were going to do. Here's how it sounded.
3rd and goal at the 1, 2 seconds left in the first half.
Why is Shields in the gun?
Wow. DeShields is in the gun. Raiders all kind of window dressing. Put a motion to the right side. Anderson back to throw. Echeverry caught it. Touchdown, Mount Union. Jeff Dart is a genius. 27-7 Raiders. On the final play of the first half, they'll get the PAT, and boy, do they have John Carroll fooled on that play, John.
I just don't like the shotgun as much. I'm a George Halas stan when it comes to the style of football. I'd rather see teams run out of the eye and the single back the whole game and the single wing. But that was the 3rd touchdown of the half for Tyler Echeverry. 2 via the ground, 1 via a receiving touchdown, and Tyler Echeverry through the half, Sam, is the key for the Purple Raiders, leading in this one 28-7 as Sam rejoins us here at the half. Clean first half for the Purple Raiders. They outgained Mount Union in a big way, and they have just 1 penalty in that first half to 6 for John Carroll. And when you piece it all together, I don't think we've seen Mount Union play better half of football than the one that they just played, Sam.
Well, the only key to me, John, is can they keep that in the bottle and come out and open that same bottle up again and do it? If they can, this will be a landslide win. If not, they let John Carroll get back into the game and they get into a rhythm and flow and Septenfelder gets going and guys make plays, then it could be a whole different story. But you're up 28-7. You're at home. The wind is going to be a huge factor the rest of the day. Whoever's going into the wind, I like Mount's chances here, but this John Carroll team they've been through the battles. It was 38-31 here back in September. They're not going to roll over. They feel like they've got a team that can go rounds deep into the playoffs, just like Mount Union does. They're going to have to play. You got to play 60. I hate to be Mr. Cliche, but you 21-point lead. You got to play 60. It's that simple. One good thing is the sun's out. It doesn't mean it's getting any warmer, but at least it looks a little better out there on some of the partially snow-covered turf here at Carroll Stadium. 28-7 Mount Union.
10-3, by the way, Michigan leading Ohio State. 2:15 left in the second quarter. Ryan Cooper Day is having another.
I'll tell you what.
Interesting afternoon.
You brought that up earlier. Is Ryan Day coaching for his job? And I'm kind of like, well.
This isn't,
if they lose again today.
This isn't 11-0 Michigan, Sam. This is 6-5 Michigan.
I think Ryan Day is in big trouble. Here we go. Second half is underway. Yvonne Merrick with the kickoff into the wind. McVeigh the return at the 15 for John Carroll to the 20. McVeigh stiff arm to the 25. McVeigh to the 30, and he skedaddles out of bounds at around the 32-yard line.
What's
so
crazy
pretty
about,
good field position for John Carroll.
What's crazy about that play there by McVeigh is that it was way harder for him to keep his footing on a play like that. And I bring that up because right before the end of the half, in the first half, McVeigh had a literal walk-in touchdown that, folks, if you're listening, your grandpa could have scored on it. And McVeigh just lost his footing. And it's not the first time in this game.
No, and it's not that this field is snow-covered, but it's got a slickness to it in spots that maybe you don't see. You've got to compensate for it. If you don't in time, you're in trouble. 1st and 10, John Carroll. McVeigh left side, big hole, 35-36. McVeigh's out to the 38-yard line, picks off around 6 yards on the play. Purple Raiders 28, John Carroll 7. Sam Berkwin, John Bazika just getting cranked up here in the third quarter, 13-10, WDPN. Purple Raiders, black jerseys, black pants, white numbers and letters today with some purple trim. John Carroll, white jerseys, gold pants, gold helmets, navy numbers with the gold trim. Second down, 4 streaks at their own 38-yard line. Septenfelder, bad snap. He bends over, picks it up, back to throw. He's going to run. He's got room. 40-44, first down, John Carroll. At the blue streak, 44-yard line. Septenfelder, kind of like the Shields, not really known for his running ability, but that time he saw the alley, scampered through, picked up a first down.
The last time, the thing about Septenfelder when he was here in September, Sam, is that guys like Montgomery, Fasten, Mintz, they were giving him a lot more help. It seems like it's been kind of Septenfelder against 11 in this game, and that's not a great strategy.
John Carroll going to go twins right, slot left now. Motion left side. McVeigh gets a handoff, trying to carry that ball across the midfield. Spins and then goes down at the 48. That time, that was a combination of Ricky Buggs with a tackle. And at the same time, I believe McVeigh was slipping and going down. And maybe it looked a lot worse than it actually was, but that's a tough way to go if you're McVeigh right here. Look at that. Boom.
Yeah, I think it was the spinning around, and Sam, any of us that have played any type of sports with the buddies in the backyard know sometimes you take a hit and you just have the wind knocked out of you. I think that was the case there. He just got up and kind of forgot his bearings for a moment. He'll be back out there.
It was Buggs with the hit, the leg tackle, but it was Janssens who put him down with the shiver.
Buggs has been really good in this game,
he
by
has.
the way.
That's a great point. Twins left, slot right for John Carroll. Play action. Septenfelder got a man wide open. 2 men wide open. Tight end got it. And I don't know if he ended up getting the first down. Close. Janssens with the tackle. They aren't going to give Rawls the first down. Rawls probably should have been down to around the Mount 40 after he caught that ball, but got twisted up in traffic a little bit. Did get enough yardage. First down, blue streaks at the Purple Raider 45. So it's kind of an inauspicious beginning defensively for the Purple Raiders here in the second half. As John Carroll with the ball, moving with the wind at their back. Sunshine is out, but don't let the sun fool you. 24 degrees and a wind chill. We are probably at around 10 to 12 degrees with the wind chill factor. Motion this way. Here comes a caravan of blockers. They'll give it to McVeigh, and the Raiders really stepped up and made a play. Rossi Moore, Marcus Jackson. I'll tell you what, John, they brought a wide receiver, they brought a guard, they brought a tackle, then they give it to McVeigh, who was following, and the Raiders stuffed it. Only got 2, second down and 8.
You know, I give Coach Behrman credit, Sam. He came into this game wanting to establish the run and wanting to make that a key portion of the game, but I don't know that you have time to be this deliberate with it. I mean, still a lot of time left, and it's 28-7, but if you're going to do this here, you got to get 7 out of this drive.
11:35 to go in the third. Mount on top, 28-7. Septenfelder back to throw. He looks downfield. He looks. He fires. He's got a man caught just short of the first down at the Mount Union 36-yard line. That's Tyler Mintz on the reception. Tyler Mintz, 5'9", 190 pounds, out of Kenston, Ohio.
Pretty good program there in the last 10 years.
Going to bring John Carroll to a 3rd and 1 now at the Purple Raider 36-yard line. Sam Berkman, John Bazika, good to be with you on this Saturday afternoon. Blue Streaks rush up to the line. The play clock, still plenty of time there with 10. Under center, Septenfelder back to throw. He's looking for the tight end. Rawls way out of bounds and incomplete. I don't know what in the world that was.
I'm surprised
on a 3rd and 1?
Yeah, I'm very, very, very surprised they decided to go with that. I mean, I understand trying to pull a fast one and use a play action there, but I don't know. It looks like they just brought in their 3 biggest linemen that have been sitting on the sideline. They got about 17 linemen out there right now.
So the Raiders will get their substitutions in. Play clock is at 10. John Carroll up to the line on a 4th and 1. Blue Streaks unbalanced to the left. Septenfelder gets the shotgun, or McVeigh gets the shotgun snap. I don't think he got there. I think the Raiders stopped him short of the 35-yard line. They did a direct snap to Evan McVeigh, and I think the Raiders stuffed him, and will take over 1st and 10. Now, they're going to measure, but I'm telling you right now, that's going to be Mount Union football. And Vaughn Factor is down for the Raiders at the 35-yard line.
You know what I don't understand, Sam, as Factor is down, and he was dealing with a little bit of a leg issue in the first half. What I don't understand is that you have 2 plays on a 3rd and 1, and you decide to wait until the 4th and 1 to run a play like that and finally get to that point. And that doesn't seem to make sense to me. Why not run that type of play on a 3rd down when Mount Union doesn't bring in their beef up front? It just seems,
those last 2 plays,
yeah, there's
odd and bizarre. 3rd down, you go play action to a tight end. You throw them 20 yards out of bounds, and there you stay in the huddle forever. You run up to the line of scrimmage. Everybody's tight, and it's basically a wildcat to McVeigh. I mean, who else was going to do anything with the ball back there?
Well, because the drive to that point had been well sequenced, and then, when things finally come to it's not there at the end. This would have to be short.
Chain crew is out. Stretch that out there a little bit. There you go. All right, fellas, put the chain down. They do. It's Mount Union football. They are at least a football length short of the 1st down. And the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Big sequence for the Mount Union defense. And the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 with a 28-7 lead.
So the question now becomes, does John Carroll have any answer for Mount Union's rushing attack from the first half? Do they have any answer for Tyler Echeverry, Sam? He had 3 touchdowns in the first half, 2 by land, 1 by air, if you will.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Cooper in motion to the far side. Sunshine is out now here at Mount Union. Over the middle. Pass. Turner grabs it at the 50-yard line. Busts out of a tackle. Nicky's going backwards. Now he gets a block to the 48, to the Carroll 45. Nick Turner to the 44 of John Carroll and a 1st down. Number 16 doing it to it for the Raiders in a 1st down.
It's effort, Sam.
Yep.
It's all effort. Mount Union just wants it more right now.
You know, John, I was here probably earlier than I thought I was going to get here today, but I just wanted to get the lay of the land and see how things were set up for both these teams on their sidelines and watch the specialty teams come out, look at the field conditions, and I'm going to get to a thought here after this play. Back to throw is TJ. He's going deep. He's got a man, Nick Turner, and it's intercepted. Down at the Mount Union 5-yard line. They went for the home run. Ball got caught up in the wind a little bit, and the John Carroll Blue Streaks will take over 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line. Mark that play down, maybe something to tuck away later on.
I was to say, perfectly timed play there by Jacob Huffnagel. He stepped right in front of that, and we've said it, Sam, as strong as TJ DeShield's arm is, that's got to be a 20, 25-mile-per-hour wind that's blowing in his face, and there's nothing he can do there. That ball simply hung up, and, I mean, all Huffnagel had to do was play center field.
Yeah. So with 9:50 to go in the third, the Raiders turn it over. Now, the only good piece about that is it's John Carroll ball all the way back at their own 5, but you're giving them an extra possession here. 28-7 Mount, third quarter play here in Alliance. Septenfelder in the gun. Tailback to his right. They're going to give it to the tailback. And Jenkins will get to the, looks like around the 8-yard line for Newsome, the running back, Quincy Newsome.
10-10 Ohio State and Michigan. Buckeyes tied up right before the half. A 10-yard touchdown pass from Will Howard to Jeremiah Smith.
Might be a good idea to throw the ball to Jeremiah Smith. Maybe
he's pretty good.
A little bit more than they do. 2nd down and 8, Carroll. Back to throw Septenfelder. He's got all day. Now he's going to look downfield, and he's going to slide at the 11. Raiders were closing in. Liebler there at the tail end of the play, the former Massillon Tiger, just to make sure Septenfelder got no further. Now, 3rd and 5, John Carroll at their own 10. 8:44, clock runs third quarter. It's a 28-7 Mount Union lead. Sam Berkman, John Bazika with you today on WDPN, Q92radiosports.com. Round 2 of the playoffs, Division III NCAA. See if the Raiders can get off the field. Septenfelder in the gun. Play clock down to 4. Septenfelder to throw. He jump passes caught by McVeigh at the 15. McVeigh got away, and he got a first down. Holy cow. At the 21-yard line. They needed 5. They got 11. That was all Evan McVeigh. First down, Blue Streaks.
Now, Sam, that play that he just made there is infinitely tougher than the play that he would have had to make near the end zone earlier. He spun twice.
That was a double spin cycle right there.
And kept his footing. How he lost his footing earlier I'm sure they will talk about that in University Heights for a long time.
So John Carroll now, 7:50 in the third. They get a new set of downs, 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Twins to the left. Septenfelder gives it to Newsome, 25. Newsome to the 27. Newsome to the 28-yard line. Janssens, Moore in on the play. Jazz Jackson was over there. Caleb Brown in the neighborhood. Boy, John, you look at just when they break the huddle, look at John Carroll, and then look at our guys defensively. It just seems like they are so much bigger than we are. But the Raiders are holding their own, especially on the line of scrimmage. Double H back to the left. Everybody in motion. Spin back to throw is Septenfelder. He looks going to go underneath. Ball was tipped, and then it was caught out at the 30-yard line by Tyron Montgomery. Boy, credit Montgomery for concentrating to keep his eyes open and keep his hands on the ball, make that catch as the ball was tipped there at the, I think that was, who was it that tipped that ball?
It was Brown.
Yep, Caleb Brown with the tip.
Well, they're using Murkowski, number 68, and Deemer and Deemer's 72, and then 56 also Bertusiak. They're pulling those guys around a lot, 3 different linemen.
Boy, John Carroll, they do so much pre-snap movement before the play. Inside handoff, Newsom 35 leading the way, a couple of blocks, and Newsom is out to the 41-yard line.
So, and here's something that I wanted to bring up eventually, Sam, and my point is going to eventually start to come into play here. Much like an election night, we're heading into that final hour, and things are starting to make sense on the electoral map. Well, John Carroll and Mount Union are going to be about dead even in yardage if this drive keeps going.
Yep.
It's 206 to 240. John Carroll's moved the ball. They haven't finished.
Yes. And, how long can your defense hang in there and keep those big chunk plays from happening and keep Carroll off the board? Seppenfelder in the flat. Newsom caught it, 35. Newsom 40, got room 45, 50, out of bounds. First down, John Carroll at the Mount Union 45-yard line. And we got an injured Purple Raider down here. It looks like Weston Arthur maybe back at the 40-yard line. So they'll attend to him with 5:36 to go in the third. Purple Raiders 28-7. But, John, it's a precarious 21-point lead right now.
Well, it is.
Just, if you're here watching, you get the feel, you get the sights, you get the rhythm. There's a long way to go here.
Yeah, and it's because the game has really been even outside of a couple of plays. And you say, well, John, how can you have a 21-point game and it's been even? Well, Evan Newsom, or McVay, not Newsom, McVay falling down, going into the end zone. That's 7 points. The play by Caleb Brown to force the strip sack to Rossi Moore, who ends up going in for the score, that's another 7 points. So you factor those two together, and it's 21-14 right now, and John Carroll is marching down the field to tie this game up. Mm-hmm. So it's very tight. It's not the blowout that it appears, as Weston Arthur appears to be okay making his way off the field under his own power. But, John Carroll, these last couple drives, Sam, they've moved the ball. And really,
they have.
By their own boneheaded mistakes, the previous drive, they should have scored there. But they have a 3rd and 1, and they run 2 kind of goofy plays that are kind of trick-type plays, and they really don't make sense. And here now they started this on their own 5, and they've moved the ball easily 50 yards down the field.
This is after a Mount Union turnover with an interception deep in John Carroll territory at the 5-yard line. 1st and 10, John Carroll at the Mount 45. Seppenfelder, ball's loose on the floor again. It's picked up back at the 42-yard line, and I think Mount Union's got it. Official says it's Purple Raider football. John, another mistake by the Blue Streaks offensively, and the Raiders pounce and will take over 1st and 10.
Man, John Carroll's got to just be sick to their stomach right now. I mean, Jenkins never started carrying the football, and it was big number 99, Garrett Kramer, the nose guard. He just ran past his guy, and what a hit there.
Oh.
What a hit that was by Brandon Yansons on the running back, too, in Jenkins.
With the naked eye, John, I wasn't even sure if Jenkins thought he was supposed to keep that ball.
Well, again, the window dressing. I think they fooled themselves there.
Here come the Raiders. TJ hands it off. Echeverry 40. Tyler 37. Echeverry down. They'll mark him back at the 38-yard line, so a gain of 5 yards on the play. Boy, I tell you what. However this thing ends, right now it's pointing toward a Purple Raider win. You're going to look at the score, and then you're going to go, well, let me take a look at the stat sheet. And then you're going to look at the stat sheet, and you're going to shake your head.
It's not going to line up.
You're going to shake your head.
Because John Carroll's going to add more yardage to their book by the end of the day.
Back to throw is TJ. He steps up. He fires it. Caught wide open inside the 30-yard line. That is Sanders and Tyrell. A little wiggle to the 24 and a first down and a gain of 14 yards. I'll tell you what. Into that 25-mile-an-hour wind, TJ DeShields just fired a rocket into the hands of Sanders, who caught it. A little shake and bake and a first down, Purple Raiders at the John Carroll 24-yard line.
Well, and the thing, the interception by TJ DeShields, you talk about turnovers, and I'll get to this point after this play, and you might know where I'm headed, but I'll let you call this one.
13 on the game shot clock. 13 on the play clock. 4:08 game clock. Back to hand it off to Echeverry. Tyler 25-20. Shake and bake 15. Echeverry to the 10. Tyler Echeverry all the way down around the 5-yard line. First and goal, Mount Union. And I will say here, I feel comfortable enough now. If the Purple Raiders punch one in here, ball game.
Point is, there's different types of turnovers, and all of John Carroll's turnovers have been costly.
They have. The Shields in the gun. Gives it to Echeverry. Tyler 2. Tyler 1. Tyler into the end zone. Penalty flag. It's on Mount Union.
Now, why do I say that? Because one led to 7 points for Mount Union. That was the strip sack by Caleb Brown and the run-in by Rossi Moore. And then this one here, unless John Carroll's defense bows up and makes a great play, it's going to probably lead to at least some sort of points. So that's 2 drives now that you're looking at where your turnovers have led to that. The interception thrown by TJ DeShields, that might as well have been a punt. Because at this point,
right.
Because at this point, all John Carroll did was kind of flip the field. So again, it's playing not only smart football and mistake-free football, Sam, but it's playing good situational football, and that's what Mount Union is doing today.
So after the penalty, Mount Union first and goal with the John Carroll 11. 28-7 Raiders, 3:43 to go in the game. DeShields back to throw, fires, end zone, incomplete, penalty flag. That's going to be a defensive PI on Harrison Feldman. Or was it on Josh Jones? I think it was on Jones, number 15. Now, I'm just assuming this is a PI. I think I'm right.
Now,
yep. On Jones.
I have no problem with the call. I mean, I have no problem with making the call, but Sam, if you're going to call that, let's call that both ways, huh? Earlier in the game, when Ricky Buggs didn't turn his back around on a play similar, that was maybe more egregious than that. Now, if you're going to, I'm all for calling that, but be consistent.
First and goal, Raiders now at the 2-yard line. Give to Tyler Echeverry. To the 1, Tyler's going to be just short of the short of the goal line, I should say. It'll be second down and goal. Okay, time to put this thing away. 28-7 Mount Union, 3:25 to go in the third quarter of play. Down in Ohio State, Buckeyes and Wolverines, 10-10 at the half in Columbus.
Now, if this moves quick enough, we might be able to head over to the Papa Gyros and catch the fourth quarter.
Might be able to head over there. You figure that game went at 12:15. Lots of commercials there. The Shields rolling right. TJ threw that one a little bit too low into the ground, trying to get Echeverry at the goal line. Incomplete. That'll bring up third down and goal from the 1-yard line.
I don't love the sprint out right, the little boot, the naked boot like that. I mean, don't you kind of open yourself up to potential mistakes? Wasn't Woody Hayes that always said there are 3 things that can happen when there's a pass and 2 of them are bad? In that case, it could have been 3 because TJ was running for his life and he could have gotten hurt.
Third and goal from the 1-yard line. Echeverry, the tailback. DeShields, the quarterback. DeShields gives it to Tyler to the goal line. He's short. That'll bring up fourth and goal. Mount Union. Boy, the Raiders, you got to get points here.
And Tony Tirado, the D lineman, he came up with the football in his hands, Sam.
I saw that. I'm guessing they didn't show. I'm guessing that it was they marked it dead.
By the way, this is a 4th down. Mount Union has gone for it twice on 4th down today, and they have converted both of them.
I think you're going to call a timeout here if you're the Raiders. Let this a little more time run off. And the play clock is out, and there's the timeout for the Raiders. So we'll keep it here. 2:07 to go in the third quarter. Mount Union 28, John Carroll 7. So you still have a quarter and a couple of minutes to go. I really think you need to. I mean, this would be a monumental win for John Carroll, the game within the game here. If you're the Raiders, you want to score here and just put this thing on ice.
Is Is there enough time though to still do what you're thinking of there? I mean, I guess if you. Maybe.
I think yeah. There's. I mean, you can say, well, 21 points, but again, you've got a whole quarter, 2 minutes to go. You got an offense who's popping over 43 points a game. Yeah. The older I get, the more games that I see, that you can never be up by enough.
Or is it the more time you've spent looking at betting lines? And
No, that has nothing to do with it. At this level.
Oh, there's still a line.
Purple Raiders.
If you know the right guy.
Purple Raiders now. Anderson tight left. They're going to put Darnell in motion. It's going to be a Wildcat now. Back to throw. Touchdown! Darnell caught it all by himself. TJ DeShields put it right in his lap. 34-7 Mount Union. That should do it. And some of the John Carroll faithful are feeling the same as they are headed to the cars and back to University Heights. That should do it.
Wow.
I mean, and how wide open can you be if you're Darnell Williams?
Second play that they've had a 3rd and goal or a 4th and goal from the 1. And they've run a play similar to that. And by the way, that's the 3rd time Mount has gone for it on 4th down, Sam. They are 3 for 3 today.
Yvonne Merrick is back fresh after being out the last couple of games. He puts the extra point up and through. The sun comes back out here at Carroll Stadium, and why not? 2:06 to go in the 3rd. Mount Union 35 and John Carroll 7.
By the way, if you're looking at other college football scores from around the nation today, which I know a lot of people are, in the second quarter with 41 seconds left, Tennessee 17, Vandy 17. And it is Clemson 7, South Carolina 7. That's at the half. And, of course, the big game going on in Columbus, 10-10 between Ohio State and Michigan. And the update on the game that
what's going on there? That's been tight all day.
Yeah, it's Carnegie Mellon now 10 and Center 7. So Carnegie Mellon not pulling away quite like I think people thought they would. And, man, their quarterback has thrown the ball today 44 times. They've only scored 10 points.
Wow.
Or no, that's Center. Carnegie Mellon not better. 8 for 24 for Ben Mills today.
Well, that's even worse.
That's rough.
If you're center, you've thrown it 44 times and you've scored how many?
7 points.
Whew. Here it's 35-7 Mount Union. Merrick with a kickoff into the wind. Return from the 12-yard line. Down at the 18 to the 19-yard line. And no further for Tyler Mintz. And the Purple Raiders now, 2:03 left in the 3rd with a 35-7 lead. And they have got their eyes on round 3 of the playoffs. Again, that announcement will be made tomorrow. And, again, a lot of assumptions here, but being around the roost long enough to know that Mount will obviously put a bid in to host next weekend. And hopefully everything falls correctly with ratings and brackets and common sense. And we'll be back here a week from today for a round 3 playoff game on 1310 WDPM, but that'll all be sorted out by the folks who sort things out. That'll happen sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I guess I've never understood quite how that all works. I always kind of thought
well, good luck.
Higher seed that kind of got the home game.
Yeah, sometimes you go by overall rankings and scheduling, and there's a lot of different criteria. There's another fumbled snap, and now a bobble, and now a flag, and they're going to kill that play before it gets going with a procedure call on John Carroll. So 5-yard penalty on the Blue Streaks. It'll take them back to their own 15-yard line. I'll tell you what, when your team is down 35-7, you're on the short end. On a day like today, it feels like 107 if you're a fan sitting out in the seats.
So Carnegie Mellon has less NPI points than Mount Union does, if that has any.
That would be in favor of Mount. Yes, that's part of the criteria.
Center is the same way, almost 10 less for Center. Yeah. So if that's.
And then you start looking at facilities and different things, which obviously Mount Union should win that battle every weekend. John Carroll now down 35-7, 2 minutes to go. Jenkins slams his way out to the 20-yard line.
I mean, the way I see it, Sam, potentially.
I mean,
I'm just looking to see like when they might not have a home game.
Yeah. You know, in a perfect world, you play them all at home before you go to the title.
Salisbury, if they play Salisbury in the fourth round, which would be 2 weeks from now, they're going to be hard pressed to have a home game.
Yeah.
That's where it would start. And I don't even know where Salisbury is.
I was just going to say, where is Salisbury? Hey, we got plenty of time to look that up. 35-7, Septenfelder back at the... He's in trouble! Hello, Rossi Moore. Brings him down back at the 14-yard line. There's another sack for Rossi.
How do you feel
That'll
about
be his 32nd and a half sack in his career for Rossi Moore.
How do you feel about going to Maryland?
I just did that a couple years ago down at the Naval Academy.
Well, you and I will get an early start on a Friday or something like that.
All right, start checking out that facility.
I am.
That's where it all starts. There's Jenkins for John Carroll, pounding his way over right guard and tackle, and he'll go out to the 25-yard line.
You got to go for this year, right?
Nope. Actually, you don't. Well, no. If you're gonna punt, you punt now. You get this play off, so you can get the wind at your back. But here may be a telltale sign that John Carroll's kind of like just going to play out the string. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. 35-7 Mount Union. Carroll wants to get this snap off with the wind at their back. The clock is down to 3. There's the snap. There's the boot.
Oh, my.
Wind gets into it. May all the way back to his 20 and a fair catch, and that'll do it for 3 quarters here in Alliance, Ohio. Good news if you're a Purple Raider fan. It's Mount Union 35 and John Carroll 7. Back with the final 15 minutes on 1310 WDPN. Streaming live at Q92radiosports.com.
Hey, man, good to see you. I'll bring you out here today. You can pick up a couple of fuels. You? I need new cabinets, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help to find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American Standard Plumbing Registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson's Kitchen and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonskitchenandbath.com. For amazing meats affordable.
Hello, Purple Raider fans. Buck Moore here. Former Mount Union running back, four-time national champion, 2001 Gallardi Trophy winner. Are you facing some major financial events, things like retirement, marriage, divorce, or selling a business? We at Markham Wealth understand and we can help. Call 330-564-8590 or visit www.markhamwealth.com for a free consultation.
Other tailored services or background of your financial professional should be construed as a guarantee of a particular outlook. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All investing comes with risk, including risk of loss. Markham Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not apply a certain level of skills or training.
Fourth quarter underway. DeShields is going to tuck it and go. TJ going to take the smart play and slide down at the 27-yard line. No need to take any more unnecessary hits. Purple Raiders 35, John Carroll 7. Just underway, fourth quarter. Sam Berkman, John Bazika with you on WDPN. On a 23-degree day, and the wind chill factor has got to be close to single digits right now. But it's all Purple Raiders. They lead it by 28 points here in round 2 of the playoffs.
And Salisbury's beating up who they're playing right now, too. So,
well, down the road, we could see those teams together, but got a lot of work to do before we get there. Echeverry over the left side, 25. Echeverry to the 30, slings himself forward for an extra 2 all the way out, close to the Purple Raider 32-yard line. Tyler Echeverry just playing his game. Been a big cog in this Purple Raider 35-point outbreak today. Boy, hard to believe this was a 37-31 ball game in September. It was about 80 degrees here in Alliance. The OAC opener for both teams, and here we are, John, late November. It's a 28-point game, bitterly cold, and Mount Union has kind of redefined themselves here as we've gone through this 2024 campaign, as Echeverry again slams his way out for a first down to the 36-yard line.
it'll be really interesting to see how how this plays out now going into next week. You know, we've seen Mount Union have some moments of brilliance throughout the year, and we've seen them have some moments of, you know, what are you thinking there? And this is the best I think they've looked from start to finish.
No
Next
doubt.
week will be a big test for them, though.
I don't think you and I, before we walked in here today, thought we were going to see this.
No, not at all.
Play action to Echeverry. Pass out in the flat. Cooper's got it. 37-38. Coop got up to the 40. And they'll stop his forward progress at the 40 after a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 Mount Union.
And I think what's crazy, Sam, is that this is what's come to be expected out of this game for Mount Union. And this year the feeling was, well, you lost to Alma last year in the second round of the playoffs. You kind of were having a topsy-turvy year. You could have lost to John Carroll. You could have lost to Marietta. You could have lost to Muskingum. You know, what kind of year did you actually have? You don't have your starting quarterback. A lot of questions.
I'll tell you what. The Shields play action. Tyler's going to run it, and he'll go down at the 41-yard line. Don't know if I would be putting number 12 in a lot of positions to be getting hit here in the last 12 minutes.
Yeah, you know, he's really...
he's a big dude. He can take the pounding, but I would rather not do that.
Well, when you look at the numbers today, 14 of 20, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns to the interception, which, as we said, Sam, was as good as a punt. But I think more so than that, he's managed the game well.
Absolutely. He has followed the game plan to a T for Coach Jeff Dart today. 11:30 left to go. Purple Raiders up 35-7 on their way to a round 3 playoff game next week. Past the flat, caught Echeverry. Look at him bob, look at him weave to midfield. First down, Purple Raiders. That's a 9-yard gain. Echeverry from the Shields, first down, Mount Union.
Shields limping.
Yep,
just
I saw that too.
He's been taking a lot of beatings back there. Players for John Carroll finishing on their plays coming through. And, you know, if you're John Carroll, you have to feel like today could have gone elsewhere. You know, you've made plays at times that put yourself in position, and they haven't been able to finish. That's been the difference.
Twins left. Wide right, H-back right is Anderson. DeShield steps up in the pocket, throws to Echeverry. Tyler, he's just playing ball. He's got a inside the 42 down to the 41. He'll be about a yard short of the first down. 10:33 left to go in the football game. Mount Union in command, 35-7.
If you were playing fantasy football and you had Tyler Echeverry on your team today, you'd be winning.
You'd be winning.
20 attempts, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns with a long of 40. And then through the air now, Sammy has, by my count, 6 receptions, 35 yards, and a score. Those are Bijan Robinson / Christian McCaffrey style numbers.
Tyler he'll sleep well tonight.
No question.
2nd down and 1 Raiders at the John Carroll 41. Handoff, Echeverry, first down and more, 35-30 to the John Carroll 29-yard line. Now they're going to say the ball popped out. The officials race in and say it's John Carroll ball. So evidently that ball, let's see what we can see on the replay.
Might be hard to tell from that one. I think
Let's
this
see.
one,
Yep,
that
that's a
was
fumble.
out.
Good play.
It's Mason Sullivan.
Yep.
Young man from Kirtland.
Yeah.
They play pretty good ball.
Surprised John Kirtland's in the state championship game, by the way,
don't.
next weekend.
Kirtland's there. Coldwater's there.
Marion Local's there.
Marion Local's there.
Bishop
Marion
Watterson is there.
Wow, they're Toledo Central Catholic.
Moeller.
But no Hoban.
No Hoban. Avon.
Avon and Anderson.
Congratulations to Coach Mike Elder, Mount alum. Got the Avon Eagles into the state championship game for the first time ever.
Second time.
Second time. And it'll be Avon against Toledo Central Catholic.
No, it's
not Toledo.
Anderson.
They dropped it. Cincinnati Anderson. Anderson, who beat Louisville for a state championship.
You probably did that
in
game.
Massillon, a game that I did. I'll never forget that game. Anderson had like a 6'9" tight end, and they just kept throwing it to him.
Wasn't Louisville down really big, too, at the beginning?
Yeah, and came back and rallied, and Anderson held on to win.
Neil Seaman? Eventual Mountain Union Purple
That
Raider.
was quite a scene at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium that night. Here comes John Carroll now. McVeigh twisting his way for a first down out to the John Carroll 29-yard line. 8:54 to go in this ball game here at Mount Union. The Raiders 35, John Carroll 7. So, yeah, the OHSAA State Football Championships will be in Canton next Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. A lot of the usual suspects are there, but also some fresh blood. Sandusky Perkins will be there. Hillsdale will be there. Indian Valley will be there. So it should be interesting flags on the play. But, yeah, a lot of the usuals will be there. Although Moeller has not been there for a while.
Yeah,
they're back.
You know what's crazy about that is you mentioned Moeller being there, and I know that they're obviously, the Faust years and down through time, they've had team after team, but I've never seen Moeller play in my entire life.
Never.
Never. I've seen him on video.
Even against McKinley back in the hit. No kidding.
I did not. I was 4 when that game happened.
You should have been
97. There. I know I should have. My dad was there. I wasn't.
Wow, you have never seen Moeller. Well, you won't get an appreciation for what it used to be. The way when they would come out onto the field, the Septenfelder goes back and fires it. Bugs almost a pick, incomplete at the 43-yard line. There's the old saying, and heck, I used to use it here not too long ago. When the opposing team would get off the bus, they were beat. When you played Moeller. You were beat when you got off the bus. They would come out. Got an injury timeout. Ricky Buggs shaking up on the play. Moeller would come out of the locker room. Every player was dressed the same. The coaches were all dressed the same. I mean, you talk about uniformity. From the way the jerseys were tucked in, to the socks, to the shoes, to the helmets, to the old neck rolls. Everybody looked the same. And they would come out. They would line up behind a goalpost. They would come up to the goalpost, and then they would split. Half the team would go to the left, half would go to the right. And, John, I'm telling you, this is high school football. This is back in the late 70s, 80s, into the 90s. And Moeller would come up, and they would split at the goalpost. They would go all the way to the other end zone.
Of guys.
It was like an army. They just kept coming. I bet they dressed 175 kids. They just kept coming. Never said a word. There was no hooting and hollering. They would line up on the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20 from the left side of the field to the right.
Wow.
They would do their calisthenics. It was like it was choreographed. Everybody raised their arm at the same time. They would bend their leg at the same time. They must have had 20. Back then, they probably had 25 coaches walking up and down the field, making sure everything was good. And this just went on, and you looked at the size of these kids. This is, again, late 80s, 90s, 6'7", 315, 6'6", 245. And you looked at them,
just dudes,
and you said, how are we going to compete against a team like this? 4th and 13, John Carroll. They fumbled the punt snap. Flag is thrown. Ball will be down at the 45-yard line. So then they would continue their calisthenics and their warm-ups. And by now, again, going back decades, the way things were by then, you had, wherever they were playing, you had 7 to 10 to 12 to 15,000 people there to watch that game. Because Moeller not only brought a great following, but you wanted to be the team to beat them because they didn't lose to anybody. So it would finish up, and after being completely silent this entire hour and a half before the game, they would let out this eruption on the field. And it just came out of nowhere. And it was just like, it was chaotic pandemonium with guys running around, high-fiving, screaming and hollering. They would all huddle up. They'd go back into the locker room. Then he would come out before the kickoff. But it was a show. It was an absolute show. I feel bad you didn't get a chance to see that. But if you do go to the state title game this weekend, maybe they've gone back to some of those things. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Moeller play. But it was a traveling show back then. First down Raiders at the 44 of John Carroll after the punt. TJ gives it to Echeverry. And Echeverry will squeeze out a yard down to the John Carroll 43-yard line.
Now, I know we just recently lost the great Jerry Faust. Passed away, obviously coach at Moeller for so many years, and then parlayed it into his dream job at Notre Dame, and eventually ended up at University of Akron after a number of years. I had the chance to talk to him one time. I actually went to his house, and I was in his basement. He and I were chatting, and Sam, he had murals up, and he had just so many little trinkets and things over the years, and I'll tell you after this play, but it speaks to what you said.
The Shields back to throw. Hands it off to Thomas. Sean Thomas grinding his way down to the John Carroll 36-yard line.
Because there was like a plaque or like a mural or like a little, I don't know, like almost like a model set that had been made for all of the linemen and him, and they were all on knee in front of him, and he had like his hand on the shoulder of the one guy, and he had one of those up because they won like 6 or 7 state titles in like a very short period of time.
They were the ruler of the roost. It was the they called it the Moeller Mystique.
Yes,
that was how it was. Their program was referred.
Well, and that's why when McKinley beat them in '81, it was the upset of all upsets.
It was
because no one thought they could do it.
Timeout on the field, 6:27 to go. We're going to take a break. All right, Mount Union 35, John Carroll 7, 6:27 to go in the game as the Raiders are that far away from moving on to round 3. Stay with us.
Lori's Mount Union Diner in Alliance crafts mouth-watering breakfast and lunch before your very eyes. Committed to quality and culinary artistry, they serve satisfying meals showcasing love. Operating on a cash-only basis, keeping things simple so you can focus on savoring the delectable flavors. Beyond exceptional food, the diner transforms your meal into an engaging show. The kitchen is the stage. Come for the food, stay for the delightful performance at 2300 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Back here in Alliance, Sam Berkwin, John Bazika, 35-7 Mount Union. Buckeyes and Michigan are tied at 10. Looks like the Wolverines might be on the move, though. 3rd and 2, Raiders. There's Echeverry. Tyler pushing. Got a first down to the John Carroll 33-yard line.
You surprised they still have Tyler?
I was just going to say, at the point now, you've got 6 minutes to go. You're up by 28. I'd probably be moving some guys in and out at this point in time in the game. Where Noah Boudry dressed but did not play today for Mount Union.
I really wonder.
You wonder moving forward, John. I mean, TJ has just done a masterful job here. You wonder if they start trying to ease Noah back in with certain maybe plays and formations as the game plan for the next week. The Shields back to throw deep. He's looking. That's got to be interference. My goodness. I'm not going to get upset because it's 35-7. But
yeah, that was a lot of contact.
There was a lot of contact down there. Tyrell couldn't shake free, incomplete, 2nd and 10. So I'm a bit surprised we're throwing here, though. But
so it looks like it's going to be Randolph-Macon against Salisbury on one side.
Okay.
And then Carnegie Mellon still just 10-7 over Center.
That surprises me.
Mount Union might have gotten the lucky draw there. I don't know that Carnegie Mellon or Center are very good. Now, we, of course, don't have any inkling yet because we were wholly focused on this today, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Mount Union might have drawn a nice end of the stick there where they work their way to the next round.
Back to throw is the Shields in the flat. Echeverry incomplete. Where are we? 5:36 to go. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. A lot of folks were surprised, including me, and I think you, that this was a first-round game for Mount with their bye and a second-round game for John Carroll. Of course, again, some of the criteria early is travel. It's distance between the schools and some things like that. At the D3 level, the NCAA tries to keep the cost down to a minimum. But I mean, I was surprised this was a playoff game out of the gate for the Purple Raiders here. Etcheverry taken down. It'll be 4th down for Mount at the 33-yard line.
Well, and not just that, but how about the fact that, you think about it, Sam, a month ago you and I were here for that Marietta Mount Union game that felt like the game of the year. And Marietta finished 0-3 from that, losing to Mount, losing to John Carroll, and then losing to, I think, they lost to someone in a bowl game that they played in last week over at
You know,
Benson. Were you going to go to that?
No. I was gonna get into that conversation with you, and obviously we have time here. Purple Raiders will call timeout with 4:47 to go. By the way, this one's in the bag. 35-7 Raiders, but boy, the longest 10 minutes of play here. So this Open Doors
Bowl Series
or Classic or whatever they called it was 4 teams got together at the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium last weekend, and it was for the teams that barely just missed out on getting a bid to the Division III college football playoffs, and they took them out of there was 4 select.
Yeah, it was the NCAC.
NCAC was one.
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
I don't know. I don't think the OAC was in there.
Yeah, no, they were because Marietta was in there. Marietta was part of it. It was.
I know Hanover was there.
Yeah, the matchups were.
Yeah, what were the matchups?
That doesn't really do. Okay, Hanover versus Wabash, which I think Wabash lost to Hanover 13-10, and then Westminster, PA against Marietta, and Marietta lost.
Yeah, so they played two games last weekend, and the weather was not good, obviously. 4th down, Raiders are going to go for it to Shields over the middle, caught inside the 10 to the 5 to the 4 and a 3, and all the way down to the 3-yard line. Anderson with the catch, and it'll be 1st and goal, Mount Union.
It was the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, the NCAC, the North Coast Athletic Conference.
That's right.
The OAC, and then the President's Athletic Conference.
Yeah, that's right. Don't know if you'll see that again. I drove by the stadium, and
empty.
If there was 300 people there, I would have been shocked.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Now I don't know how well it was promoted.
But yeah, did they
and
promote
marketed
it at all? I mean, now here's what's interesting to me, Sam. In a couple of years, when the Stag Bowl officially moves and is played in Canton, whatever year it is, I think 28, it's going to be there.
Well, it's here next year.
Oh, it's there next year.
Because they get the COVID redo because they got cheated out of that one. So they moved that to, which would be, 26?
Yeah.
That makes sense? So
I'm really interested to see what kind of crowd that draws.
Well,
if these guys are in it.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole deal, because a couple of years ago, Canton hosted the game, and Mount was defeated in the semi and didn't make it. And it was North Central Indiana, as Etcheverry carries it over the right side. He'll be bottled up and around the 8-yard line. And I believe it was North Central, and I think it was Mary Hardin Baylor.
Did they have the game here? I didn't think they did.
They did, and it was on a Friday night. And I ended up doing the PA that night, which was bizarre.
Okay.
But since Mount was out, I became available to do the game, and there might have been 1,500 people there.
Wow.
Now, if Mount's there, whole different story. But
would you get 15 for Mount being there? Would everybody and their brother that's ever been a Mount person come out for that?
Are you saying 1,500 just for Mount?
15,000.
Oh, 15,000. No. Again, so many things in factor. Live television. Weather can be dicey at that time of the year. Plus, playing the game at night.
Yeah.
Even it just feels colder. It is colder. But you wonder, now, I think if Mount would have made it that year, that would have been the first time that Mountain fans haven't had to go to Virginia or have to go to Texas or have to go to Maryland. You may have seen them come out in great numbers. I don't know what the total attendance would have been.
What type of crowd will they get in Texas? I mean, it'll be sparse, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's in a 2-minute timeout, 35-7 Raiders.
It's in the Houston Dynamo Stadium, if it makes it.
Yeah, which holds about, what, 25?
It's pretty big.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
Now, if there is not a team from Texas in it, but again, it depends on, you'll get better weather in Texas, even in January. Depends who the playoff matchup is and all those different things. I remember this year, folks, and I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves because we still got some work to do to get there. The NCAA Championship, Division III, is on a Sunday night.
Oh, is
January the 5th. So
Shell Energy Stadium holds 20,500.
So about Benson.
Yeah.
Just about.
And it's got almost like an enclosed look to it. It's right across from, my brother lived in Houston for a number of years, and it's right across from where Minute Maid Park is. And
okay.
All of those things are. Houston has, if you've ever been there, have you ever been to Houston?
Yes.
Has 4 downtowns that you can go to that are all, it's a massive city.
It's too big.
It is.
It's really growing like leaps and bounds. Third
it's
and
hard
goal.
to navigate, too.
It is. Thank goodness for lift. 3rd and goal, Raiders at the 5-yard line. Thomas, bang, touchdown, Raiders. Exclamation with 1:57 to go. Mount Union 41. John Carroll 7. And are the Purple Raiders sending a little message to John Carroll as they head to the North Coast Athletic Conference beginning next year?
Yeah, I think there was some ill will here that was to be explained, and I think Mount Union wanted to kind of put a final nail in the coffin of saying that what you did to us back in September might not have been the real us. I wonder now, Sam, as Merrick's pick is good, I wonder now, how's next week going to look? Because this is where Mount Union hit that wall last year, where they played Alfred State and they blew them out of the water in the first round last year. I think it was 45-7, very similar to this. But then they just didn't play the same brand the next week. So
that was Alma last week. And you know what? This Mount Union team, John, they've been finicky at times. We've seen them come out of the gate like we have today and just leave no doubt. We've seen them let teams hang around to the fourth quarter, or a game well into the third, a game that maybe they should have, in the years past probably put away by the end of the first quarter, early into the second quarter. But they're doing it a little differently this year. The injuries have made them do things a little differently. Was talking to our good buddy Jeff Shreve and Harry Paytas and Dean Marini from Image. They don't have the Cecil Sorts Jr. wide receiver or, guys in the past who would, they were going to put up 10 for $150 and 3 tutties every game. They don't have that kind of guy now. But they do have the Echeverries, and they have the Darnell Williams, and they've got the Sanders, and they've got guys that can just go out. They carve their niche. There's a return for John Carroll out to the 34-yard line by Mintz.
Well,
they're doing it so differently, and they've had to kind of reinvent themselves every 3 or 4 weeks, and you credit Coach Dart and his staff for doing that with the injuries and guys, doing different things, playing different positions. It's a whole new, it seems weird to say. It will be in week 13 or week 14. But you don't really know what you're going to get because of the way they've had to reinvent themselves.
Well, and
Newsom carries it out to the 38-yard line, second down.
Wouldn't you argue that, in a sense, that, yes, they've reinvented themselves, but they've also kind of gone back to what won them titles for so many years. Some of the golden years of the team, the Chuck Moore year, the the Nate Kamick years, some of those years where they were more running back focused, I would argue that Tyler Echeverry, and I know they've had a lot of great backs, but he's the first back that stood out that they've had in some time. DeAndre Parker was good.
Very
Mitchell
good.
was good.
Yep.
But there's something about Echeverry. You know, he runs with a purpose, and I mean, if they don't have him today, Sam, they're not winning this game.
No. And again, Tyler, just you read his stats off: rushing, receiving, what he brings intangible wise to this football program every Saturday. They've got a lot of Tyler Echeverry-like players with the mindset and the different skill sets that they bring. And yes, they had some breaks today, and John Carroll stubbed their toe a couple of times and gave up a couple. But you know, at the end of the day, it's 42-7, and you're going to have one more snap, and the Raiders are going to move on. John Carroll's going to go home, and I think every snap in the postseason, every practice during the postseason, every game, I think this team becomes just a little more dangerous every time they go out there. And if they can stay folks, this is John Carroll they just whipped today. This wasn't,
because
Hobart, and I'm not putting hope, but we've seen in the past first and second round, maybe even third round playoff games, it's over with in the first quarter. They beat a really good John Carroll team today. And the climb has run out. It's 42-7 Mount Union. The Raiders are moving on.
Well, it's because Mount Union, despite all of the discussion we've had all year, Sam, of them not being the crisp Mount Union that, we've come to know over the years, two facts still remain about them. One is that the other night on NFL Network, I think it was, there was a video about Larry Karras.
It was awesome.
FS1. There was a video about Larry Karras. There was no video featuring John Carroll or video featuring Hobart or video featuring Randolph Macon or Salisbury or Hardin Baylor. That was about Mount Union. That's the expectation and the greatness that's been built here. And then secondarily to that, too, the fact is Mount Union is still the sleeping giant. And no matter what anyone wants to tell you, beating Mount Union is still the most important thing to just about all of these teams because they are still Mount Union. Even on a year like this where they were, by our standard down, Sam, they're 10-0. They're 11-0 now. And as you said, they just whipped a good John Carroll team by 35 points. Maybe all year they've been waiting to unlock some of these things that we saw today, and this is really who they are at the end of the year. And if that's the case, tell you what, the rest of D3 football, they should watch out because what we saw today, Sam, that's as good as they've looked all year. They have not looked this complete all season, and the scary thing about it is that they didn't even have the guy that started the season at quarterback.
Yep.
They had TJ DeShields, who's rounded into form and looks like he can lead them a long way.
They have left no doubt. No doubt today. Mount Union wins at 42-7. Real quick, 3 minutes to go third quarter. Ohio State and Michigan are still tied at 10 down in Columbus. All right, we got a pregame. We got a postgame show to get to. We'll do that and give you some final stats, play a couple heights, and we'll wrap it up. Purple Raiders are moving on, 42-7 over John Carroll. Stay with us.
Hey, folks, this is CJ Armor. Price your Dodge Ram truck cost 62 or safety line. It's the Black Friday sales event at Wally Armor. We have some great deals for our entire lineup of new Ram and Jeep brand vehicles. Starting now, we're going to have up to $14,000 off our 2025 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn White Package. That's right. Save $14,000 off a brand new 25 Ram 1500 with 20-inch black wheels and a 12-inch touchscreen. Looking for a low payment for a Ram truck? We have the deal for you. Lease a new Ram 1500 Crew Cab with just $995 down, $459 a month. All leases, 10,000 miles, 42 months, plus tax and title. And we can't forget about your trade-in. Wally Armor needs your vehicle. Get a great deal and the best value for your trade at Wally Armor. Check us out online at wallyarmor.com, where you can see our entire inventory with our friendly, non-commissioned sales. And remember, folks, nobody Nobody sells it for less.
So here I am in line at Papa Gyro. I order the Gyro Supreme. Suddenly, the lady behind me chimes in.
It's pronounced gyro.
Then the fella behind her says,
It's a gyro.
I turn my back and I finish my order. I also need a large Grecian salad, a baklava chocolate swirl, and a Cajun gyro.
Gyro.
Okay. So no matter how you say it, you're not far from a Papa Gyro.
For Pete's sake, it's Papayitos. Find the Papayitos closest to you at papayitos.com.
Lori's Mount Union Diner in Alliance crafts mouth-watering breakfast and lunch before your very eyes. Committed to quality and culinary artistry, they serve satisfying meals showcasing love. Operating on a cash-only basis, keeping things simple so you can focus on savoring the delectable flavors. Beyond exceptional food, the diner transforms your meal into an engaging show. The kitchen is the stage. Come for the food, stay for the delightful performance at 2300 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Hello, Purple Raider fans. Chuck Moore here, former Mount Union running back, four-time national champion, 2001 Gallardi Trophy winner. Are you facing some major financial events, things like retirement, marriage, divorce, or selling a business? We at Markham Wealth understand, and we can help. Call 330-564-8590 or visit www.markhamwealth.com for a free consultation.
Neither tailored services nor the background of your financial professional should be construed as a guarantee of a particular outcome. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All investing comes with risk, including risk of loss. Markham Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not apply a certain level of skill or training.
Hey, man, good to see you. What brings you out here today? Need to pick up a few tools. You? I need new cabinets, countertops, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help or find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American standard plumbing registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson Kitchen and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonkitchenandbath.com. We're amazing meets affordable.
We return back in here to Mount Union as the Purple Raiders a winner over John Carroll in dominating fashion, 42-7. The final score of this one this afternoon, and we will go with our highlight of the game, which I need to communicate with Rainsburg which one that is here. And Rainsburg, it is TD number 2 for Mount Union, the one that came the second score in the first quarter to make it 14-0. I think Sam and I could both agree that the play by Caleb Brown and the score by Rossi Moore, I don't know that it ended up winning them the game because you can't say that in a 42-7 game, but I'd like to think that without that play, this might have been a different game. I think that simple play early in the game kind of broke the will very early on of John Carroll, and here is that second touchdown of the first quarter.
3rd and 4. Elder to throw. He got the ball ripped out of his hands. It's loose on the floor, loose on the carpet, picked up by the Raiders. Rossi Moore's got it to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Purple Raiders, Rossi Moore runs it all the way back. 13-0 Mount Union. What a way to start for the purple and white today.
No question what a way for them to start, and Rossi Moore's 9-tackle afternoon with a sack and a tackle and a half for loss were huge. Between him, Ricky Buggs, Brandon Janssens, and the play of Caleb Brown, the Purple Raiders win 42-7. I'm going to get Caleb's numbers too, because I know we were never able to truly do that this afternoon, but I think he deserves the love, and he only, according to this, had one play all afternoon he was in on, which I find that hard to believe, but he had one total tackle, it was a sack, it was a forced fumble, and he added to a great year that he has already had leading into this one. All right, 42-7, the final. The Purple Raiders dominate John Carroll. We'll come back and wrap it up after this.
Lori's Mount Union Diner in Alliance crafts mouth-watering breakfast and lunch before your very eyes. Committed to quality and culinary artistry, they serve satisfying meals showcasing love. Operating on a cash-only basis, keeping things simple so you can focus on savoring the delectable flavors. Beyond exceptional food, the diner transforms your meal into an engaging show. The kitchen is the stage. Come for the food, stay for the delightful performance at 2300 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Hey, man, good to see you. What brings you out here today? Need to pick up a few tools. You? I need new kitchen cabinets, countertops, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help or find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American Standard plumbing registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonkitchenandbath.com, where amazing meets affordable.
For over 80 years, Bonford Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Bonford's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis Windshield Repair System, just one of the expert repairs from Bonford Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Bonford Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
So here I am in line at Papa Gyro's. I order the Gyro Supreme. Suddenly, the lady behind me chimes in.
It's pronounced gyro.
Then the fellow behind her says,
It's a gyro.
I turn my back and I finish my order. I also need a large Grecian salad, some baklava chocolate swirl, and a Cajun gyro.
Gyro.
Okay. So no matter how you say it, you're not far from a Papa Gyro's.
For Pete's sake, it's Papayito. Find the Papayitos closest to you at papayitos.com.
Where's Pete?
Hey, folks, this is AJ Armour. Wally Armour, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Truck Route 62 or State Street Alliance. It's the Black Friday sales event at Wally Armour. And we have some great deals on our entire lineup of new Ram and Jeep brand vehicles. Starting now, we're going to have $14,000 off our 2025 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn Night Package. That's right. Save $14,000 off a brand new 25 Ram 1500 with 20-inch black wheels and a 12-inch touchscreen. Looking for a low payment for a Ram truck? We have the deal for you. Lease a new Ram 1500 Crew Cab with just $995 down or $59 a month. All leases, 10,000 miles, 42 months, plus tax and title. And we can't forget about your trade-in. Wally Armour needs your vehicle. Get a great deal and the best value for your trade at Wally Armour. Check us out online at wallyarmour.com. There you can see our entire inventory and start your deal with our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff. And remember, folks, nobody sells them for less.
All right, final time we return back in here on AM 1310 WDPN. John Bozica, Sam Berkwin along with you. 42-7, the Mount Union Purple Raiders roll past John Carroll here in the second round. Technically their first playoff game, that is Mount Union, but the second round of the playoffs for both of these teams. As for other things going on in the OAC today and other things going on around the country, this was the only OAC against OAC today, as no other teams made the playoffs. Marietta was left on the short end of that, leaving to play in the Open Doors Bowl Series last week where they lost to Westminster from PA. So Mount Union, of course, the final OAC team left standing, and they're awaiting the winner of Carnegie Mellon and Center. Right now, that is in the fourth quarter. It is Carnegie Mellon 17 and Center 15, so close game there. Other teams' games of interest maybe on the other side of this portion of the bracket that Mount Union is in. They will, of course, then in their next matchup play the winner of Salisbury and either Randolph-Macon or Washington and Jefferson. Right now, Randolph-Macon leading that matchup 38-22. That is late in the fourth quarter there as well. And I want to put this out there for comparable score for folks, just because I know that it's something that happened. For Randolph-Macon stakes, they did play earlier this year against Ferrum, a team that Mount Union played against, and I'm pretty sure beat Ferrum fairly handily. So if you're looking at comparable scores of maybe how good Mount Union stacked up against the rest of the country, that's maybe an opening, a look into it. It's kind of hard to completely make that statement or make that idea of judgment, but it was 35-7 Randolph-Macon over Ferrum. It was 55-6 Mount Union over Ferrum. So maybe a close game there, possibly, potentially. You just don't know. You never know what quality of football other teams are playing around the country. I think Salisbury is going to be the team that Mount Union really needs to watch for in this part of the region, in this bracket itself. And Sam and I are just hoping that we don't have to drive all the way to Maryland to make that possible. 21 first downs for Mount Union, 14 for John Carroll. 219 rushing yards for Mount Union to 98 for John Carroll. Mount Union even out through John Carroll this afternoon. It was 159 to 135 in that category as well. Just incredible stuff there. Tyler Echeverry, what an afternoon. 25 attempts, 176 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Jay DeShields, 17 of 25. Threw a pick, didn't really matter, was as good as a punt, 159 yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. Tyler Echeverry, 6 receptions, 35 yards, and a score. And Matt Anderson with 1 catch for 28 yards and a score. Nicky Turner, 4 catches, 51 yards. And Tyrell Sanders, 4 catches for 40 yards. The 2 passing touchdowns, of course, one went to Tyler Echeverry, the other going to Darnell Williams, who had just the 1 catch. It was a 1-yard catch, but good enough for a touchdown. Nick Septenfelter, he was held in check this time around. Last time threw and went silly on the Mount Union defense. Today, just 12 of 18, 135 yards and a touchdown. He didn't throw a meaningful pass again after basically midway through the third quarter. Everything after that, it was basically run plays that John Carroll called. It was Nehemiah Jenkins. Had a nice afternoon running it. 11 attempts, 49 yards, did not score. Lone score for John Carroll came Dorian Fasten Jr. 2 receptions and caught both of them, as I said, 4 targets for 22 yards. Just 1 touchdown, was a long of 13. That was the play he scored on. And again, leading tackler in the game for Mount Union, Brandon Janssens, with 10 tackles and 1 for loss. All in all, key stat for the game. Mount Union 5 for 5 in the red zone and 4 for 4 on 4th down. You piece it all together, Sam, it's a dominant win for Mount Union, 42-7. Something that you and I did not expect. Not that we didn't know it was possible, but I think after seeing Mount all year, we thought this would be a lot closer, and they left no doubt today. They did leave no doubt. When you win a game 42-7, and yeah, you could probably take away the last touchdown drive. Was just end of the game stuff. So now you're 35-7. An earlier touchdown, John Carroll handed them out on a turnover. Okay, take that one off the board. It's 28-7. It was still a dominating performance by this Purple Raider football team. They'll get back to the drawing board. They'll get in the hot tub. They'll get a couple Tylenol tonight. They'll get in the film room tomorrow. Coach will get the game plan ready for whoever it is next weekend. It'll be at noon. Hopefully it'll be here. We'll let you know. You can check in at WDPN, Q92 Radio, Q92radiosports.com, and we'll let you know. You can check us out on social media platforms as well. And just get better each week, each practice, each snap. Be you be you, and let the chips fall where they may. But a good day for the Raiders today. And let's keep this baby going. What do you say? Yeah, I just don't want to go to Maryland. I'm good with everything else. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Final score here. Oh, by the way, still Ohio State, Michigan, I believe 10-10. Yes. Third quarter in Columbus. Michigan driving 1st and 10 now at the Ohio State 39-yard line. They're on a 9-play, 41-yard drive. Of course they are. Of course they are. All right. That's that. This is this. Raiders. Purple Raiders, 42. Blue Streak, 7. For my partner, John Bazika, for the crew back at 1310 WDPN. And most of all, thank you, Raider Nation, for listening today. Sam Berkman saying so long. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend.
Mount Union 42, John Carroll 7. You've been listening to Purple Raider Playoff Football, 1310 WDPN. Until next Saturday, so long, everybody.
AM 1310 WDPN, thank you for listening to today's broadcast of Mount Union Football. We now return you to the unforgettable favorites of